Recording. Hi, good morning all. Mr. Nalagi, shall we start?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Rishad. Yeah, we can start.
Okay, great. Okay, good morning all, and I'm Mr. Rishad, General Manager of Somerset Campus. Before starting the session, I'll give you a quick introduction about the Somerset role here in this BIT program and about the lecture panel. Somerset is the main facilitator of this program and main coordinating partner of BIT program. And this goes with collaborating with Aurora Computer Studies and Somerset Campus. And the Somerset admin department will check all your admin related matters throughout this program. Miss Umesha is the program coordinator for BIT programs. So you can coordinate with her anything related to admin matters for the smooth operation of this program. And this is going to be our 31st BIT batch and fifth BIT batch of this year, and we are targeting 2023 exams, right? And I want to bring your attention to few special points where you all need to really focus on. And first point is be serious about your studies, because this program is kind of a highly competitive program. You need to plan your studies from day one onwards with a highly motivated attitude. The second point is, expecting high level of interaction during the online classes in order to get the maximum level of output from the lecturers to to update your knowledge. We are always welcoming new thoughts because this is kind of a platform where we all can share ideas and update our knowledge with one-to-one, group-wise subject-related discussions. Third point is, when it comes to language, I know most of our guys are a bit scared with this matter. Yes, this program goes under English medium. Don't worry about it at all. I'm telling you, because our lecturers will gradually break this barrier. After a few months, you will improve your knowledge of English. Then you will realize and feel the difference. And you can prepare yourself for exam by doing quizzes, mock exams provided by us and the university, and face it to exams with a good confidence, right? Most important point, when it comes to employment, you can look for jobs in the private sector. It can be local or overseas, where they are really ready to pay high salaries for IT professionals. If I say our future depending on our IT professionals, ideas and thoughts, most of you will agree with me, because all our activities are now computerized. That shows the IT professionals involvement in our future day-to-day and upcoming activities, right? Our banking system, if we take, and even nowadays our education, now we conducting classes via Zoom or MS Teams, right? Virtual platforms, where earlier we used to come for a place and sit and study. Now where we can study where where we stay. Even at home also we can continue our studies, right? You don't need to physically go for a place and study. So that's how this technology has improved with IT professionals involvement. And anyway, there won't be any government jobs available for you all for about not for a couple of years, few years, until this ongoing crisis settled down. So as you all know, we are in a crisis situation right now. So, and we cannot expect jobs from government side. It's better to go for private sector, where they really paying high salaries for that, and don't waste your time waiting for government jobs, right? And yes, that's all I wanted to mention. Okay, I think I spoke a lot. let me introduce our main lecturer of this program, Mr. Nalaka Gamage, who is an experienced lecturer in academic level, who shows high level of pass marks in each year, right? So when talking about his experiences, he has more than 8 years field level experience and more than 12 years academic level experience. We believe that we are really lucky to have him on board for this BIT program and to make this happen as we plan with Mr. Nalaka. And I wish everyone all the best on behalf of Somerset team. Thank you so much. Mr. Nalaka, it's over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. So that is Intisam Richard, the General Manager of Somerset College. Okay. So I'm Nalak Gamage. So I will be coordinating your BIT program from our side. So let me just give me 1 minute. Right. So today the plan is in the morning session, I will do a introduction to your course, and then we'll start our first subject or the first topic in information systems. In the afternoon session, we'll move on to computer systems and also communication skills. Okay, right. So that so let's first go through the introduction to your course, and at any time if you have any questions or doubt or anything that you want to clarify before formally starting the subjects, so please raise your questions then and there. You can at any time you can talk, you don't have to raise your hands or whatever. At any time you can talk, or you can use the chat as well, but make sure you mute your microphones. But when you talk, you can unmute. Once you talk, you have to mute it because sometimes there will be background noises. Okay, right. So let's quickly go through your course structure and the expectations and so on. Okay, so you all know that this is a 3-year bachelor's degree program offered by University of Colombo. So this is administered by the UCSC. It's something like the Faculty of Computer Science, but in University of Colombo, they have given more authority, more independence. We call it University of Colombo School of Computing, right? And this degree program started somewhere in 2000, about 23 years ago, and it has been continuing for more than 2 decades. And this is a professional IT degree program, and you know there are 2 types of degree programs, academic degree programs and the professional degree program. So this is a professional degree program like medicine, engineering, business management, and so on. Okay, so therefore, in a way, it's very challenging. At the same time, it's very interesting as well. Okay, so therefore, this is a marathon. This is not a 100-meter or 200-meter. So it's a 3-year course. So you need to have that commitment, right? You need to have that potential to finish this as a success and get into a career in IT field. Right, so a little bit of the University of Colombo. I don't have to give you more introduction. So that is the #1 ranked university in Sri Lanka, which is well known globally. Okay, so everyone knows Colombo, and also it has a very liberal, open culture as well. You know that there are very little issues when it comes to University of Colombo, unless it is a common issue in the country. So therefore, you can expect your continuous, unbroken studies and finish it within 3 years. Okay, unless there are major issues in the country, of course, that we can't control. And as I mentioned, the UCSC is more independent than a faculty, and that is why they can conduct these kind of external degrees and so on very effectively without undue interferences. So they conduct bachelor's degree programs, internal and external, master's, PhD, and so on. So after doing your BIT also, you can, of course, you can go into any of the master's or higher studies, but in the University of Colombo itself, they have the masters for Master of Information Technology, Master of computer science, and so on. So you will be eligible for any of those courses, whether it's UCSC or any other university, local or foreign. Okay. And all the curriculums at UCSC are under ACM standards. So that is an American standard. Of course, when it comes to IT, we know that the leadership comes from the USA. And also they have a dedicated IT e-learning infrastructure, e-learning center, so that you will get the benefits from them as well. Okay. Right. So what are the objectives of this degree program? So the number one, or the main objective is obviously providing IT professionals for both local and global market, and also facilitate you the higher education in academic areas where you like to proceed to your masters and so on as well. Okay, so that is the main objective of the BIT degree program. So remember, this is a professional degree program. This is not an academic degree program where you learn just 2 or 3 subjects throughout your 3 years, like maybe just physics, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, maths, or biochemistry, physics, or economics, and blah, blah, blah. So therefore, this is more challenging and interesting program, and also you must be having long-term objectives in your right in order to follow this kind of a program. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So as a professional, right, whether you are what kind of professional, we don't mind, right, whatever your area, we expect 4 things from any professionals. So what are those? Of course, you need to have the knowledge in that respective area, right? So knowledge itself doesn't do anything when it comes to professionalism. Okay, so because professionals do things, so they make things happen. Okay, so therefore, so don't just concentrate on the knowledge, right? So which Sri Lanka is very notorious as a knowledge-centric education system, but make sure you gather the relevant competencies so that you can get into the industry, get into the field, go anywhere in the world and work, right? So people don't hire IT professionals as a displaying things, right? So we need IT professionals to do things. So therefore, make sure you gather those competencies in your studies. And also, we expect the professionals to be moral and ethical conscious people. So they do right things, right? So they do the right things even under difficult situations. Okay. And of course, in order to do any of these things, so you need to have the proper attitude, right? The positive attitude, can-do attitude, willing to face challenges, right? And serve the society rather than be a burden to that. And that kind of a positive, constructive attitude we expect from you guys. And you know that Sri Lankan university system is again has a very good reputation about the positive attitude, right? So whenever someone says university, so the image we get is like ragging, right? Struggles and so on, right? So what we need is, as professionals, right? Someone who construct things, not destroy things. Someone who build things, okay? Someone who can make the next generation or the next culture. So just keep it in mind. It's not just gathering knowledge. It's more than that. It's more than that, okay? Right, so we have already discussed that. So the result is, if you do those things properly, of course, you will be a highly employable professional anywhere in the world. And also you'll be a respectable citizen, not a burden to the society, not a parasite to the society, but a resource to the society. So that is what we really, really need in this kind of a bankrupt country. Okay. So many people want to live on the governments, not contribute to the society. Okay. Right. So why career in IT. So IT is another very exciting career. So it has all the good things, bad things, challenges, right? So there's nothing called ideal careers. So let me explain a few positive things first. Of course, this is the IT era, and so therefore you have plenty of opportunities. So that I don't want to discuss because that you all know. And also you have variety of career paths. It's not just one type of a career. So you have the technical type jobs, non-technical jobs, mixture of technical and non-technical, right? Software development side is there, networking is there, system engineering is there, IT management is there, right? Data science is there, right? Security is there, right? And of course, e-business, entrepreneurship, and so many varieties available depending on your uh, liking, depending on your aspirations. So because everyone is not technical, everyone is not business oriented. So you have to find out the right mixture that suit for you. Don't copy others. Okay. And also when you learn IT, this is definitely you will be a smart person because we are the one who talk seriously about logic. We are the one who talk seriously about intelligence. Okay. So we build artificial intelligence. We make programs. So we will be getting into those areas in a very serious level. So therefore, when you do IT, definitely you can't be a dumb person, right? So you will whether you like it or not, you will end up as a smart person because you learn these things in a very serious level. Okay. So remember, this is very exciting field, very challenging field. So therefore, we expect certain characteristic from you. So everyone can't be IT professional, right? So everyone can't be make into any other professional as well. So first of all, you need to have some basic characteristics. So then, of course, we can polish it, right? We can polish it. We can help you guys. So as I already mentioned, for any career, so your attitude is number one. Okay, your attitude is number one to get success in any of the areas. And also, this is a technology or engineering oriented field. So we need logical thinkers, right? So then we need a lot of analytical mind. Can you analyze things? Okay. And willing to face challenges. So that is why in semester 1 itself, you have 5 subjects. Semester 2, another 5 subjects. Okay. So every semester you have new subjects. So willing to learn new things. So that, of course, you have to do it. You have to learn and unlearn because you have to learn another thing. Right? And this is not for work in isolation, like a lawyer or sometimes even a doctor in a private dispensary. But this is a group work. This is a teamwork. Okay. So you need to build your team working and other skills as well. And also you need the soft skills like leadership, communication, right? And so on. So make sure you have those basic elements with you. And of course, you can develop it further. But especially, you must be a logical thinker, right? Critical thinker, if you want to get success in your IT field. Okay. So as I already mentioned, there are so many career paths available. Software development field is the most exciting and challenging field for those who are technical oriented. But that is not the only path. So you have the data analysis, data science, system and network administration, right? Security, IT management, right? And of course, you can proceed with academic side, teacher, lecturer, and so on, or researcher, and so on. Okay. So you have to eye on one of those areas, or maybe 1 or 2 areas as your main interest, and work towards achieving those goals. Okay. Right. So I'm done with the basic introduction. So then I will move on to your BIT structure, program structure, and so on. So if you have any questions, you can ask. So while you think about your questions, so on, I have put up few questions that students usually ask or frequently ask. Right. So therefore, I will proactively provide those answers as well. So Mr. Richard raised some of those questions. Right. So number one question, one of the most frequently asked question is, I haven't done A-level ICT. Is it a problem? And you know that if you are doing medicine, right, you must have done certain subjects in A-level. If you are doing business management, right? So if you are doing accounting or engineering, so they expect certain subjects, right? But you know that this degree program is open to any field, right? Whether you have done technology or maths or commerce or art or whatever, right? So therefore, is it a problem? So the answer is you have to work harder. Right? Of course, you have to work harder if you have not done A-level ICT, but we will start from the very beginning. For example, so today morning, we will be starting the information system subject. We will be starting with what is data, what is information, what is system. Similarly, when we start computer system, we will start with what is computer and so on. So when we start math subject, we will start with what is maths, okay? What are the areas of maths and so on. So therefore, everything we will be starting from the beginning, but it doesn't mean that grade 5 student can register for BIT and follow it. So that is why they are expecting credit for maths in O-level, credit for English in O-level, and minimum 3 passes. So that means that guarantee that you have the potential, okay? But not doing A-level ICT is not an issue. Even not doing O-level ICT is not an issue as long as you have that passion and you have that extra time to work harder, especially in semester 1 and 2. So after semester 1 and 2, everyone will be in the same level, okay, whether you have done A-level ICT or not. Right. So therefore, if you have not done A-level ICT and especially not O-level ICT, make sure you spend a little bit more time, especially in semester 1 and 2. And those who have not done O-level ICT, good thing is you can download the O-level ICT book from the National Education Institute site. So just go through it while we do our sessions, okay? The book is available in both English and single language, okay? So second one is, yes, this course is conducted in English medium. So some students, not everyone, and that percentage is now getting lesser and lesser because so we used to get some feedback from students. And so last time when I got the feedback, very few students have mentioned me that I don't know whether they are lying or not. Right, almost 95% of the students have mentioned we are okay with the language. Okay, so that's a good sign anyway. Right, but anyway, if you have any doubts, don't worry. You have got credits in your O-level. So that is why the university has that condition. So you have fulfilled. So once you get credit for O-level, how can you fear of doing a course in English language, right? So maybe just psychological fears. Again, so we will be doing a very quick revision on English grammar starting today itself, okay? So that is especially for those who are having at least the slightest doubt, and it will be beneficial for anyone. The second thing is doing ICT in English is a natural thing because anyway you will be using most of the English terms. These are new terms, and you get access to the latest, the best knowledge, information if you study it in English, right? So you have the YouTube, you have the AI tools, internet. So you get the benefit if you study it in English. So otherwise you will be slave of us. You will be slaves of institute. You will be slaves of teachers because the teacher has the key and you have to learn it from the mouth of the teacher. Rather, you get the key. You get the key and you open the world of information, knowledge, and so on. So we can facilitate it within very short period. Okay, so then you will feel like I am in control of my studies. So that is what we need. So that is what we expect from professionals. Right? Professionals very quickly they become independent. Okay, they become independent. So the way to go is study it in English, and you have the potential, you have the necessary things, and we always help. Another thing we do is we conduct classes in simple English, especially semester 1 and semester 2. The notes are in simple English. Sometimes we do a review time to time, and we even change the words to make it simpler. Okay, because whether when it is simple anyway, it's good for anyone. Whether you are good at English or not, the simplicity is the best thing in the world. Right? So therefore, don't worry. We are aware of some of your concerns, and we address those things in whatever the possible way. And at the end, so you must be getting the benefit. Okay. Right. So the third one is obviously maths. Right. So maths is something like Marmite, right? Or durian or whatever, right? So some people like it, some people hate it, right? So obviously, I hope you don't hate maths. If you hate maths, right? So I don't think that you will like IT, because computer is a computing machine, right? So you can't hate maths and love computer. That I don't think that is a possible combination. So maybe some of you guys are a little bit out of touch in maths. Okay. Maybe some of you guys may have faced some bad experience learning maths in your O levels and so on. So again, we'll be starting from what is maths, what is numbers, and your semester 1 maths is, I would say 90% O level maths. Just one topic out which is outside your O level maths. Okay. So therefore, what we are doing is a revision and maybe familiarizing you with the basic concepts of maths in a more serious manner. So we will look at something like adding two numbers at a very serious level, because we want to get it done by the computer. Right? What is the real logic behind adding, subtracting, and so on. And of course, we use maths subject to make you abstract thinker, right? Make you problem solver, get rid of your fears. Right? So get rid of your fears of complexity. So that is why engineering students are taught maths at very hard level, make you sort of just like a physical training for military. So it's a mentally preparing you for the complexities, challenges. Okay. So be prepared. Okay. So if you want to have a career in technological subjects, yes, it's very exciting. Okay. It's very challenging. It's very exciting. It's very interesting. It's not boring. Right. So those are the three key FAQs. And if you have any other questions about your registrations or logistics, university sites or our sites, or anything about your plans, any doubts about your plans, so just let us know during the session. You can talk at any time, or you can put it into the chat. Okay. Right. So now let's move on to the structure of your BIT course. So this is a degree program, bachelor's degree program, and they have specified the entry requirements, and I hope you are aware of those things. And of course, they have now so many other other alternative requirements which I have not mentioned, like the Cambridge O level, A levels, and so on, and NVQ levels and so on. But these are the basic requirements, and I hope you guys have fulfilled those requirements, and some of you may have already done got the registration. Okay, so I don't want to talk too much about those things. And this course is conducted in three levels. So what you have done is you have registered, or you are pending registration for the level 1 or the diploma level. So earlier we used to call it year 1, but now we call it level 1. At the end of level 1, that is at the end of semester 1 and 2, you get the diploma in IT. That is because you get some market for potential job opportunities. So that is why they are issuing the certificate. So when someone says I am reading for a degree, it doesn't add much value. But when they say I have completed my first year, so that add value. So that is why. And similarly, at the level end of second year or level 2, you get the higher diploma, university higher diploma, university level higher diploma. And of course, at the end of the third level, you get the BIT degree, which is a bachelor's degree or the first level degree. Okay. So in IT sector, most of the opportunities, job opportunities are for those who are having a degree in IT or computer science or software engineering. But these days, especially these days, there are plenty of opportunities for those having completed the first year, second year, because most of the IT professionals also have left the country, right? So therefore, we have a big vacuum, and the IT organizations, especially software development organizations, are looking for more and more interns, trainees, to somehow fill that gap. Okay. So therefore, when you go to something like Top Jobs or LK, you at least you will find few job postings every day, right? For trainees. So they specifically say those who are following a degree program in IT, or those who have completed the first year or second year. So look for those opportunities, right? And grab those opportunities while you are studying, if you are really interested in a career in IT field. Okay. Right. So this is an external degree program. So therefore, there are two distinct roles: the university or the UCSC and the institute. And this is a very open course structure. So you all know that the university is administrating the course. So they do the registration, publish the syllabus, publish the official content. Still, I think you haven't got the VLE access, university VLE access, because the academic, so today is the closing date. I hope they will not extend it further. So then they will start the academic year, and then you will be getting the VLE, university VLE access. And the university conduct the exams and assignments. Actually, this year there's a possibility that assignments are taken out and it will be 100% exams, which I will discuss later. And also they provide the degree certificates, convocations, diploma, higher diploma, degree. So they are 100% done by the university. Okay, University of Colombo. Then of course there are so many institutes all over the country, right? So we are one of the institutes of collaboration, and there's a competition. So that is the beauty of this course. There's a competition for institutes to give the best for the students. So when there's a competition, there's always good things start happening, right? So we are one of the institute of collaboration. We have been conducting BIT classes for more than 10 years now. So you know that if you are doing a bad job, we can't survive for 10 years. Okay. And what we provide is the value-added notes. So we have our own notes on top of the university notes. Of course, your lectures. So we prepare you for the exams, and also we provide any additional support through WhatsApp groups and so on. Okay. And of course, our Google Classroom and so on. So that is the structure of this program. Okay. And so any questions? Yeah, so you can do the masters at the end of the degree program. Actually, some of the students straight away do their masters, right? Because you don't need any experience for masters, but sometimes they say you need 1 year experience because this is a three-year degree program. But that is mostly for the engineering degrees. But for IT and computer science degrees, straight away students can register for masters without any experience. But if you are eyeing for masters, try to get a class, especially if you are eyeing for not only masters, proceed into your PhDs and higher degrees, of course, you can get the scholarship and so on only if you get at least second class upper. But to do master, you don't need it's not a must to have a class. But if you're planning to go into PhD, so you have to plan out from the day one. If you get at least second class upper, first class is the ideal. Definitely you can apply for scholarships and get the PhDs and so on very easily. Okay. Right. So if you have any other questions, you can ask. Okay. And even the BIT coordinator at the university, she's a she has got the PhD after doing the BIT. Okay. So after doing the BIT, now she is one of the internal lecturer at the University of Colombo. Okay. Right. So let's move on to your nature of your subjects. As I told you, every semester you have about 5 subjects, right? And most of the time, so the 5 subjects you get in the next semester is completely different from what you learned in the previous. And only few subjects have part 1, part 2. Only few subjects, right? Like maths. But other subjects, for example, this semester you have programming, next semester you have database, again web development, mobile development, project management, and so different subjects. So we can categorize those into few areas. The theory subjects, like what we start today, information system, software engineering, system analysis and design. So those are theory subjects where you are more interested in gathering the knowledge, concepts. Okay. So then you have the technology subjects where you have to do hands-on things like programming, database, web development, right? Networking, more practical subjects, because professionals, right, doctor or engineer, so they have to go and do things, right? So doctor must be able to do a surgery. Doctor must be able to do analysis of a patients, okay, like ECG. So same thing. So we expect you to do things, and we expect you to do software development, web development, mobile development, IT management, and so on. So therefore, you have to start learning those practical subjects and gather skills. And of course, you have the maths in semester 1 and semester 2, compulsory, but final year maths is optional. So if you really like maths, you can do it, or you can just skip it. Okay. And some management related topics are there. You have the fundamentals of management, project management, okay. Entrepreneurship, business related topics are there, e-business, entrepreneurship, right? So those are the mixture of subjects you have in your 3-year duration, okay. So why do you have those things? Because remember, IT is a technological field, so therefore obvious technological subject, you have to learn the theory behind those things, how the computer work, what is the information system, right? And of course, this is a very challenging subject, so therefore we need maths, and also to understand the theory behind computers, you need a bit of maths. And information technology is itself a business, right? So we support businesses. Software development field is itself a business, so therefore you must know business. And most of the time we develop system for businesses, okay. And also it's a teamwork, so therefore we need the management skills, right? Manage ourselves and also manage our fellow teams, okay. Manage infrastructure of a business organization. So that is why we have IT managers in big organizations like a bank. Okay, so that is why you have those subjects, okay, because those are must. Right. So when it comes to your BIT subjects, you have 2 types of subjects officially: the IT subject or the GPA subjects, and enhancement subjects. For example, semester 1 you have information system, computer system, programming those are GPA or IT subjects, whereas your enhancement subject for semester 1 is introductory maths. In semester 2, your enhancement subject is communication skills, right? Now remember, this assignment part they are going to remove most probably, but still they have not officially mentioned it. So therefore, let's forget about the assignments for the time being. So for the IT subjects, you get grades from A plus to E, right? And the pass mark is 40. That means C or above is the pass mark. But for enhancement subject, you get only pass or fail for the exam. You don't get A, B, blah, blah, blah. They just say pass or fail. And the pass mark is 50. Okay, pass mark is 50. So it's very important. Right. But this time, so there's a possibility of reducing it to 40, but still it is not officially confirmed. Okay. So therefore, because last few years, there are a lot of students struggling to get into 50, right? So therefore they try to lower the bar, but still it is not confirmed anyway. Okay. So, but unofficially, most probably that will happen, but they will inform those things to you guys in the notices. Okay. And why do we call it GPA? Remember, whether you can go to the next level or level 2, and whether you get a first class, second class, all those are calculated by GPA, just like your ESET score in A level. So we'll talk about GPA later, right? So not in the very first day, because it's a calculation, and so that is why you don't get ABC, just whether you pass or fail. It doesn't matter whether you get 90 or 60 or 55 for enhancement subject, but it really matters whether you get A plus or B or C for IT subjects. Okay. Right. So these are the level 1 subjects. Okay. E grade means fail. Right. I will show you the grades later. E grade is so basically C and below is fail. Sorry, C is pass, C minus and below is fail. I will get into that in a minute, okay? The gradings you have. Right. So you can keep asking questions. Some of the questions I will not be answering because we will cover those questions in following slides, okay? Right. So these are the subjects in your semester 1. You have 4 IT subjects, so GPA subjects, information system, computer system, programming, and free and open source software. Your enhancement subject is introductory maths. Okay. And you know that there you get the gradings and contribute to GPA. Here you just have to pass it. And it doesn't contribute to your GPA, but you have to pass it. Okay. You have to pass it. And this number gives you the number of GPA points offered. So higher number means it contributes more to your GPA. A smaller number means it has a little less contribution to the GPA. Okay. Of course, enhancement subject doesn't have a number because they are non-GPA subjects. Okay. So then you have to the semester 2 subjects. The GPA subjects are software engineering, database systems, web development, and mathematics for computing 1. Now here you can see this is non-GPA in semester 1, but semester 2 it's GPA. Okay. Then of course you have the communication skills as the non-GPA or enhancement subject. And then you go into the level 2. Similarly, you have the GPA and enhancement subject in semester 3, but semester 4 all your subjects are IT subjects. And there you can see there are 6 subjects, right? So semester 4 you have 6 subjects and all 6 subjects are compulsory, right? It's not easy task, right? Doing 6 subjects in a particular semester. So it's really challenging, right? Yes, you have to face that challenge. So you have the web development 2, object-oriented analysis and design, data structures and algorithms, data management systems, then the communication skills 2. In semester 4, you have the enterprise application development. That is how you develop big applications like banking systems where a lot of systems are integrated together, like payment systems and so on. Agile development, user experience design, UXD, web development 2, IT project management and computer networks. So that is your higher diploma level. And your level 3 is semester 4 and 5, sorry, 5 and 6. So there again, you have the GP and enhancement subjects like professional practice, principle of information security, system and network administration, e-business. And of course, the software project goes in semester 5 and 6 in both semesters, that you have to develop a system. You have to demonstrate that you have gathered those skills and you are ready to become a software developer or IT professional. That means you have the skills and courage, competencies to build or put whatever you have learned, theory, technology, and so on, into practice. And remember, professionals are building things. They are not destroying things. So they build things. They build systems. Okay. Right. And of course, the enhancement subjects are management and entrepreneurship in semester 5 and advanced concepts in IT in semester 6. So that is the overview of your syllabus for all 3 levels. Okay. So this is the process. Of course, you have done your online registrations in the university website. Okay. So yesterday was the deadline. I think still today you may be able to do it. I don't think they will extend it further. Then you have the physical interview at the university. It's not a physical interview. Basically, it is just to check your physically check your certificates. Okay. So then they will give you the VLE access and they will confirm the registration. So that is where your registration is confirmed after double checking your certificates. So then you can start your semester 1 studies. So that is what we are starting right now for you guys as well. Right. So then they will give you the VLE access maybe within this week or next week. And they will publish saying that academic calendar has started, and they will publish the exam dates and everything at the very beginning. Maybe most probably they will publish it this week or maybe next week. And then when the exams dates are nearing, so you have to apply for the exams. So that is something you have to do. Anyway, we will remind you in the class. So you have to apply for the exams. Then only you will be eligible for the exams. Okay, so then you face your exams. And then you continue with your semester 2 studies. Okay, so you do go for the exams, and then from next week onwards you can continue with your semester 2 studies, because this semester 1 and 2 is just to make your life easier. It's basically 1 year, 1 level. Okay, otherwise you have to go for exams and face about 8-10 subjects. So that is why you have the semester 1, semester 2 break. That is just to make your life easier and concentrate on set of subjects and then concentrate on other set of subjects. But it's just a continuation of semester 1 or the level 1. So after the exams, you just continue with semester 2 studies. While you are doing the semester 2 studies, they will publish the results, right? So it will take about 2-3 months, but because that result is not required for the semester 2, right? So they will release the semester 1 results while you are doing the semester 2. Then of course you have to apply and sit for the semester 2 exams also, and then they will release the semester 2 results. So usually they release the semester 2 results little bit earlier, because you need that results to check whether you are eligible for go to the level 2. Okay, and same continue for your level 2 and level 3. Only thing is now it's semester 3, semester 4. Okay, that is how you go, how you proceed. Okay. Right. So the studies wise, right, of course, you guys have registered for the semester 1. Okay. So you will get access to the WhatsApp group. So that is why you are in this session, because you guys are all in the WhatsApp group. So that is everyone. I think everyone will have done the registration. But once you confirm your full payment or for the semester or the installment 1, you will be getting access to the Google Classroom. So those who have done the first installment or the full payment, you must have received the Google Classroom invitation from aurora@gmail.com. Just double check your spam and junk mail folder also, because it's a system generated email. Sometimes it may end up in your junk folder, but those who have done the at least in installment 1, so then you have to accept that invitation. It's very important. You click on the invitation and accept it. So then only you have the access to our Google Classroom. So in our Google Classroom, you have the study materials and everything. Even this presentation is available in the Google Classroom, and more things will be published to the Google Classroom gradually. Okay, so this is basically, yeah, this is your Google Classroom. So you must have received the email and you must have accepted by click on the link. So basically, this presentation is available here. You can download it, and also the BIT handbook, and also some materials that we are going to do today. So every topic, every subject has a syllabus, okay, and past papers as a zip file, as a big one PDF file. So then references, and today we will be covering the introduction to ICT from the information system subject. Computer system also the same thing. We will be covering introduction to computer, right? And the programming, introductory maths. And because we are doing the communication topics, though it is in semester 2, we have to do it semester 1, because then only you get the benefit. So we'll be doing, and these things will be gradually enabled. So you can access these things right now. Those who get the, those who have accepted the link, the invitation. Okay. So if you haven't received it yet, maybe if you just registered yesterday or very recently, your name, still you may not have got it. But maybe at the end of the day, still if you haven't got the invitation mail and after doing the payments, just let me know, or let your student counselors know. They will check whether you have got it. Okay, right. So that is your studies, right? So remember, just because some students think that when I register for a course, I automatically become a graduate. No, right? So this is a very competitive. This is University of Colombo, right? So they have their own standards. So you have to show that you have that caliber, you have that willingness, you have that potential, commitment, and then only you will be getting the qualification. You have to earn it, right? You have to earn it. Okay, right. So you have to accept the Google Class invitation to get the access to the Google Classroom materials, and also the recordings. In case you miss any session, the recordings will be available in the Google Classroom. The links will be available, and the recordings will be in the Google YouTube as private videos. Only access is given to your email addresses. Okay, so therefore you have to follow the link and log into the for example, still you guys don't have any recordings, because this is our first session, right? So it will be available under recordings, right? For example, I will show you some other class. So these are their recordings. So this is last Sunday class. So you have to go to the YouTube, and you will see it as video is private unless you have login. Okay, unless you have login. So you have to log in using the email address, Gmail address given to us. Right? For example, of course, this particular email address is not given the access to this video, but let me show you. So if you log in using an email address where you have the access, so then you can see the recordings and so on. Okay. Right. So that is how it works, but don't rely on the recordings. Try to attend the classes as much as possible, so that you gradually, right, absorb it, right? So some students think that you can sleep and wake up 3 weeks before the exams and absorb entire syllabus, and you can pass the exams, right? But it doesn't work. It may work for academic degree programs, but not for professional degree programs like this. Okay, it definitely not working, right? So therefore, make sure you absorb it gradually, right? Absorb it gradually. We can't make it into a pill or capsule, and right, all of a sudden you get that knowledge. No, you have to build it gradually, especially practical subjects like programming, and so on. Okay, right. So therefore, just attend the online sessions as much as possible, and in case you miss, right, of course you can refer to the recordings as well, which is added advantage you guys are having. And also we'll be doing some past paper and exam preparations also, but you can't just attend the exam preparations and pass the exams. It doesn't work. First of all, you have to understand this concepts, then only you can attend the exam preparations, past paper discussions. Okay, right. When it comes to exams, in level 1 you have only MCQ papers for each subject, 2 hour MCQ paper, but for EN subject you have 1 hour paper, other subject you have 2 hour paper, MCQ only. But level 2 you have 2 papers, 1 hour MCQ, 1 hour structured essay. Structured essay means they give you space, you have to write the answer in a very short, just sometimes just 1 or 2 words, so 1 or 2 sentence. Okay, in level 3 you don't have the MCQs anymore. It's 100% essay paper. Right? Essay paper means you have to write long answers. But again, because this is IT, you don't have to write pages. Just sometimes again, just 1 or 2 sentences is enough. Okay, because in IT we don't expect you to write, right? It's not single or something like that. Okay. රචනා ලියන්න කියන්නේ නැහැනේ. Right. So these are the gradings that one of you asks. So unlike your A level or O level, you have in degree levels, there are vast mixture of gradings starting from A plus, that is 85 to 100, 70 to 84A, and so on up to E. E means between 0 to 24, your marks. Okay. So if you get C or above, you have passed that subject. You have passed that subject for IT subjects. For enhancement subject, right now 50 or above, but most probably they might make it into 40 again, just like here. But still it is not officially mentioned. So therefore, so let's still assume that it is 50, but most probably it will be 40 by the time you face the exams. Okay. This mark also, that is for enhancement subject. Okay. Right. So when it comes to MCQ questions, these MCQ questions are different from your O-level and A-level MCQs, because in O-level and A-level, only one answer is correct. But in your MCQs, usually in degree level MCQs, in any degree level, multiple answers are possible. So when you have 5 answers, sometimes all 5 are correct. Sometimes 3 of the answers are correct. Okay. So each correct answer add marks. Each wrong answer that you have marked, reduce marks. So therefore you have the minus mark system. Okay. So how it works, for all the correct answers, +1 is assigned and equally divided. For all the wrong answers, -1 is allocated and equally divided for wrong answers. So then you get the net value. Okay. So as simple as that. So first of all, you must know how your marks are calculated. Okay. So this is just an example. Say, assume that for a particular question, the correct answers are these green answers, 2 and 4. The wrong answers are 1, 3, and 5. Assume that a particular student has marked 2, 4, and 5. Now remember, for the correct answers, +1, wrong answers minus 1 equally divided. So there are 2 correct answers. Therefore, this is plus half. This is plus half. There are 3 wrong answers according to this question. So therefore, it is equally divided minus 1 over 3, minus 1 over 3, minus 1 over 3. So this student has marked this one. So therefore, get plus half. Mark this one, you get another plus half. And this student has marked this one also. Therefore, you get a minus 1/3. So therefore, the net value will be 2 divided half plus half is 1 minus 1 over 3. That is 2 divided by 3. So this student get 2 divided by 3 for this marking these 3 answers. Because that student has marked a wrong answer, he doesn't get the full mark. 1 out of 3 is reduced. Okay. So now I hope you got it. Okay. So this is another example. Now you can calculate the marks. Okay. So half and half, and here you get minus 1/3. So this student get minus 1 over 3 plus half and another minus 1 over 3. So the net value is minus 1 over 6. If the student get a net value of negative, it is considered as 0. So therefore, don't think that you will end up as minus 10 for your exams. No. If a particular question you get a minus value, they consider it as 0. Right. So therefore, for a particular question, ultimately what you can get is 0 to 1. 0 to 1, because all your negative values for a particular question is considered as 0 for that question. So here the net value is minus 1 over 6. Therefore, they will consider it as 0 for this question. Right? 0 for this question. So that is how it is marked. Any questions in marking? Because you must clarify all those things in the very first day. Right? Otherwise, when the exams is 1 week away, some students ask these questions. Right? So that means they are not doing what they don't know what they are doing. Okay. Yes, you have to. So it can be 1 answer, 2 answer, 3 answer, or 4 answer. Okay. So otherwise you don't get the full marks. Right? You don't get the full marks. For example, if the student mark only this one, the student get only plus half. So those who mark these 2, they get the plus 1. But the moment you mark a wrong answer, again, the things are getting reduced. Okay. So I hope you got it. Okay. So you have to mark if there are multiple answers, if you feel like multiple answers are correct, and most of the time multiple answers will be there, you have to mark multiple answers. Okay. But make sure you don't mark wrong answers, because it negate your marks. Okay. It negate your marks. Right. So then finally, for each subject, you get the marks. Right. So the gradings, basically what you get is the grading, whether A or A plus or B or whatever. They don't give you the marks for a subject, just like your A level. Right. You get just the grading. So using the grading, you can calculate the GP. Okay. Grade point value. So that grade point value will determine whether you can go to the next level. So your GPV or the grade point value determine 2 things. First thing is whether you can go to the next level. Second thing is overall, whether you get a first class, second upper, or second lower, or you just get the degree as a general degree. Okay, so those are the 2 usages of GPV. Okay, grade point, or sometimes we call it grade point average. Right. So the calculation is given. Don't worry about how to do the calculation, because I have given you some examples later. Okay, that you can. Okay, in the very first day, don't try to calculate the GP. Of course, after the class, you can do it by yourself. Okay, right. So then, how do you proceed to the next level? Right. So now remember you have registered for semester 1 or the level 1. Basically, what you have registered is level 1. Right. That means you have registered for semester 1 and 2 in the university. In the classes, you have registered for semester 1 classes, but university you have registered for level 1. Okay. So sometimes students get confused those things also, right? So how do you move from level 1 to level? That decision is taken at the end of semester 2. So that is why I told you that semester 2 is just a continuation. After semester 1 exams, you just concentrate on your semester 2. Okay. You don't wait for the exam results. Okay. So you just concentrate on your semester 2. Because at the end of semester 2, while you are doing semester 2, they will release the semester 1 results. And Few weeks after, maybe within 1 month after semester 2 exams, they will release the semester 2 results together with the overall GPA values and so on. And then you can see whether you can proceed to the level 2. So some students can go to the level 2, some students cannot go to the level 2 because they have not fulfilled the required conditions. Okay. Now, what is the condition for level 1 student to go into the level 2? Okay, level 1 student to go into the level 2. So there are 4 conditions, right? 4 conditions. So you have to fulfill all 4 conditions. If at least one condition is not fulfilled, you have to remain in the level 1. Right? So if you want to do within 3 years, so keep an eye on these things. Right? So no point knowing these things when the exam is 3 weeks away. Okay. So this is the time for you to understand this. So there are 4 conditions for you to go from level 1 to level 2 or register for level 2. The minimum GPA of 1.5. That means overall for semester 1 and 2. Right. A minimum of 20 credit from C or above. So that means you can't have too many repeat subject. Of course, you can have some repeat subject and still go to level 2, but not too much repeat subject. So C or above means not repeat. Okay. So I will explain how the exact calculation is done. So then you have passed all your EN subjects. So that means you have to pass maths and semester 1 and communication skills in semester 2. Both you have to pass. If at least one of the subject is failed, you are not allowed to go to the level 2. You have to stay in that level 1 again for the next year. Okay. And no grade below D for any other subject. So D means D. So D means below D, right? Below D means E. Below D means E. So that means if you have, for say, computer system or programming, something like 23 for that subject, one subject, you got just 23. So then you are not allowed to go to the next level because you have below D's for subject. But if you get something like 35, 30, 32, even 26, because that is D, 26 is D. So you have to do that as a repeat subject. But still you may be able to go to the level 2. 26, you can go to the level 2 if you have fulfilled the other requirements. But 24, no. You can't go to the next level because you have failed miserably in that subject. Okay. So you can't have below D or basically E for any subject if you want to go to the next level. So, okay. So there's another thing. So a lot of students, they think that I can absent subjects. If you absent a subject, you get a E. So that means if you absent at least one subject in semester 1 or 2, you absent at least one subject. That means you give the medical. They don't care medicals. Okay. So if you absent at least one subject, you can't go to the next level. I know it's very tough, right? But that is how it works. That is how it works. Even the medicals are not accepted. So if you just like A level, right? So if you absent a particular subject, so they will ask go and do the A level next year. So same policy is there. Okay, same policy is there because all of a sudden when you absent a subject, you get a below D or absent is E. So therefore you can't go. So therefore, if you are really serious about doing something, because that is what we expect from professionals, right? So professionals are really serious people. So they are committed people, right? So have that mindset, have that seriousness. So similarly, you have the set of conditions for getting from level 2 to level 3. It's pretty much the same condition, right? Same conditions, okay? And of course, at the end of level 3, again, the same conditions are there. But at the same time, if you have any repeat subjects beforehand in your level 1 and level 2, you have to do all those also. then only you are eligible for the BIT degree. Right? You are eligible for the BIT degree. So that is how you do it. So the best scenario is when you are at the end of semester 2, you passed all your subject, then you can just concentrate on your level 2 subjects. No repeat. Right? So there are some students like that, they don't have any repeat subject, they are in the level 2. But there are some students, maybe just one repeat subject, still it is okay, because they can continue with the level 2 and just do the repeat subject only, or maybe just one subject or max 2 subjects. But if you have too many repeat subjects, that means your conditions won't be satisfied. So therefore, you will forced to stay in the same level again. Okay. Okay. So there are no internship for this degree program. So you go to the right. You go to the top jobs LK. There are plenty of internship programs available that you have to earn. So even when there's an official internship program, so it doesn't guarantee you the internship. So they will ask you to face the interviews, and if the employer willing, then only you get the internship. So internship is not something that you automatically get in the modern world, right? So they also just put you into their interviews. Okay. So plenty of internships are available in the right topjobs.lk, right? So there you will find you can this is not intern, no. So if you go down, there will be definitely at least one internship every day. Okay, so you can apply for those things, but of course you need to finish your level 1 or at least level 2, at least level 1 to qualify for internships. Okay, so can't I find the internship? You can see internship, right? So these are the internships. So these are open internships. Okay, that you can apply. So this is even anyone basic level internship, right? But some internships, they expect you to have the complete your level 1, level 2, especially if it is software development. This is not a software development level internship. Okay, so this is pretty much ERP system integrations. Okay, but there are plenty of software development internships as well. Okay, so there, of course, they expect you to have at least finish your level 1, or sometimes they ask for level 2. Okay, right. Right. Any other questions? So at the end of level 1, you get the diploma from the university, and at the end of level 2, you get the higher diploma, and of course at the end of level 3, you get the degree convocation at the university. Okay, so again, if you get a good GPA, that means a lot of A's, B's, and so on, you will be eligible for first class, that is GPA greater than 3.7 and minimum A for the final year project. GPA more than 3.3 overall GPA and minimum B for the final year project, you get second upper, and GPA more than 3 and minimum B for the final year project, you get second class lower. Otherwise, you will get the degree anyway, but without a class. Okay. And there are some medals and awards as well for the best student and so on, which will be published in the convocation. Okay. Right. So any other questions? Can we complete the failed subject only before moving to the next level? Of course, you can do it, but if you can go to the next level, why don't you go to the next level, right? So you must be positive. So don't think negatively. If you can go to the next level, why do you want to stay there, right? Why do you want to stay there when you can go to, of course, if you have any personal commitments or whatever, yes, that can be the case. Yes, but there's another rule. When you start a level, say now you have registered for level 1, you have to completely finish your level 1 within 3 years. 3 calendar years. Right? That means if you repeat a subject this year, say you are, maybe there are 2 options, right? Actually, there are 3 options, right? So at the end of your level 1, there are 3 possibilities. You go to the level 2 without any repeat subject. That is the big happy scenario that everyone must eyeing. Second is you can go to the level 2, but you have 1 or 2 repeat subjects. The third scenario is you cannot go to the level 2 because you have not fulfilled those conditions. You have D's or you don't have enough GPA and so on. So whatever the scenario, of course, these guys, they don't have to worry, the first guys, because they have already got their diploma, right? Because they don't have a repeat subject. But those who have the repeat subject or those who cannot go to the level 2, they have the maximum 3 years to completely finish it. Completely finish it. Even when you are in the level 2, within 3 years, you have to finish your level 1 while you are doing level 2. Otherwise, your level 1 registration is automatically cancelled. Right? Automatically cancelled. So then it doesn't matter whether you are doing your level 2, then your level 2 is also cancelled. Okay. So therefore, say your exams in maybe January this year. So that means again next January, second attempt. Again next January, third attempt. Of course, that is good, more than enough. Right? If you have the potential, 3 attempts are more than enough for you to pass the level, right? But if not, it's you are wasting your time. You are wasting the university's effort and things. So therefore, they say, okay, so we have to cancel your registration. Of course, if you want, you can register again as a fresh student. So then you have to start as a fresh student and do all the subjects from the beginning. Okay. So you have 3 years to complete a level. So that means 9 years to complete the degree. Of course, that is what kind of a degree is that? Giving 9 years to complete a degree. Okay. So therefore, it's more than enough for someone, right? But if you want, you can finish a level and stop. Maybe wait for another 1 or 2 years and then register for the next level. So that is fine. But you have to finish the level within 3 years. Right? That is fine. So because you got that level 1, then after maybe few years, you register for the level 2. But once you start a level, you have to finish it within 3 years. Or else your registration is for that level is cancelled. Okay. And the other thing is, if you get a below C, that means C minus or below, you must repeat that subject because it's failed subject. Whether you are allowed to go to the next level or not, you have to repeat that subject and get something above C or above. And the other thing is, if you get something C or above, you are not allowed to repeat the subject. In university levels, it is not done. For example, in A level, even when you get 3 A's, you can repeat. Again, you can improve it. But when you get something like C for a subject, you are not supposed to apply for that subject again, repeat. No, they don't allow. You automatically, it's detected in the system and they don't give you the admissions for that subject. So that means you can't gradually improve your results and get a good first class, second class. No, that doesn't happen. Right? That doesn't happen. And the other thing is, when you repeat a subject, maybe first time you get C minus, so therefore you repeat it. Next time you get A. Of course, you will get the A as A, but for the GPA calculation, they consider this A as a C because you get it in the second attempt. Otherwise, it's unfair. So the system is optimized for students who are very efficient, students who are not wasting their time. Right? So the system is, all the benefits are given to the students who are very positive people, very efficient people. So therefore, it doesn't matter whether you get second times A minus after failing the first time, still you will get, your GPA will be calculated considering that your A is a C. Okay, so just keep those things in mind. Because last week also student asked, can I improve my C minus? Sorry, not C minus. Can I improve my C? So straight answer is no, you can't improve your C because you can't apply for the exams again. And you can't improve, of course, you can improve your C minus, but maximum to C when it comes to GPA calculation. Okay. Right. Any other questions? Right. So the minimum or the maximum time you have to complete a level is 3 years. Okay. 3 calendar years. Okay. Or 3 calendar years means usually 3 academic years. Okay. Right. And also in your UCSC VLE, you have the quizzes. The quizzes are not going to count anything. That is just for you to practice. Okay. And earlier we had assignments. So this year they have mentioned that they are going to discontinue assignments. Okay. So therefore, let's not talk about assignments. Okay. And this is how your GPA is calculated. Okay. So every subject has a GPA offered. Like, remember I told you some subjects are given higher weight than the other subject. So then your grading has a GPA value. So A has particular value, B has particular value, and so on. So you have to multiply your gradings GPA value by the offered value. So for each and every subject, then you have to divide it by total number of offered value. So then you get your GPA value. Okay, then you get your GPA value for that particular year. You have to do it for particular year. Either semester 1 and semester 2, that is level 1 GPA. Semester 3 and 4, level 2 GPA. Semester 5 and 6, level 3 GPA. So then these are the 4 conditions. Your overall GPA must be greater than 1.5. For example, if you get this kind of results, you get GPA of 2.45, which is way beyond GPA 1.5. Actually, you can even go for a class. So your overall GPA must be this. After calculating this, it must be greater than 1.5. That is a condition 1. So minimum of 20 credits must be collected from C and above. Now remember, this is C and above. So this is C and above. Now you have to find out how many credits are offered for these subjects, and then you have to count those. So that is how they have done it. How many they have offered. Now in this case, this student has got 23, which is more than 20. So therefore, second condition is satisfied. And pass grade for all EN subjects. So here you can see introductory maths pass, communication skill pass. So that condition is satisfied. No grade below D for any subject. So you can see this is not below D. This is D plus. This is C minus. Those are repeat subject, but still. So the student has to repeat these 2 subjects, but still the student can go to the level 2. So these 2 subjects only the student has to repeat, but it's none is below D. Below D means D minus OE. Okay. So therefore, this subject can go to the next level, but this student can go to the level 2, but the student has to do 2 repeat subject while he or she is doing the level 2. Okay. So this is another result. Now, this student's only issue is introductory maths fail. So therefore, this student cannot go to the next level because the condition 3 is not satisfied. So pass grade for all EN courses, but maths fail, introductory maths fail. Right. So this is another scenario. This student GPA is okay. All enhancement subject pass, no grade below D for any of the subject. Remember, D plus C is not below D. But this student doesn't have too many repeat subjects. So therefore, this student hasn't got 20 credit from C and above. So basically, roughly what you can consider is, if you have more than 3 repeats, usually this condition will be fair. Right? So if you have just 1 repeat subject, 2 repeat subject, of course, most of the time still you will be able to get into the next level. But the moment it becomes 3 repeat subject or 4 repeat subjects, usually this condition will be fair and you will not be allowed to go to the next level. So that is how they have set up the conditions. Okay. Right. Exact calculation, you can get it from this formula. And also we have a online GPA calculator. Right? So even you can do a normal Google search. Our one will be the number one, say BIT GPA calculator. So there you can just do some experimentation also. Say information technology, what is your grading? So this is what the student use when they get the results, because they don't want to do the calculation manually. They pass. I'm just giving average results, okay? Not the ideal result. Say C, say C plus, say pass. Now we can calculate. So year 1 GPA 2.64, fine. No grade below D, fine. Pass all your enhancement, fine. More than 20 credits, 26 credit from more than C. So can you proceed to the level 2? Yes. Yes. And this student has no repeat subject also. Just one repeat subject in computer system. So this student can go to the next level, but only thing is this student has to repeat the computer system subject while he or she is doing the level. So similarly, so okay. So you can just do Google search BIT GPA calculator. You will get this page, okay, which is maintained by us, okay, for you guys, to help you guys. Right. So any other questions? Can we sit exam for only few subjects in a semester and then next year for the other subject, then is it considered as repeat? Yes, it is considered as repeat. But if you don't apply, that is fine. So that means you apply, say, some subjects, but you don't apply for the other subjects. So then next year you can apply, but still within 3 years, you have to finish that level. Right? So these things are not encouraged in a degree program. Right? So what we encourage is you finish your degree within 3 years. So we need those who are facing challenges, those who are not running away from challenges. Right? So think for, so some students now, remember now this year, one of the students who just after doing O-level, she did FIT. Right? She did FIT and she passed FIT. In the first attempt, she attended classes only about 1 or 2 months. And unfortunately, and she went for the interviews also. I asked her to go to the interviews. Unfortunately, her O-level results are not yet released. Right? O-level results are not yet released. Right? So therefore, still she can't register for BIT, right? She has just done the O-level. And pass FIT. First attempt. Some students pass FIT after 3-4 attempts. Right? So that is the type of commitment we encourage. Right? So don't postpone things. Right? Don't postpone things. Don't run away from challenges. So because that will become an attitude. Right? That will become part of your character otherwise. Okay. So try to do things and finish things. Okay. Don't try to find ways to postpone things. Don't try to find ways to postpone things. Try to find ways to make it faster. Okay. Make it faster. Of course, if you have practical issues, that is a different story. But so otherwise, ඒ වගේ ලොකු කතන්දරයක් නැත්තම් ඔය හිතන්නවත් එපා. හරි? ඒව හිතන්නවත් එපා. Right. So as I mentioned, the medium will be English, right? All your study materials, exams, and everything is in English. You can't answer Sinhala in your exam papers also. They don't simply mark those answers. Of course, in MCQ, it doesn't matter, right? Everything is in the English language. Now, when it comes to the effort, right? So usually, anyway, right? So let's finish it and take the break. If you do it properly, so there are 2 ways you can do a degree program. One way is you do it like this. you do it like this. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So that is how you do it in a proper way. So there you put more effort in level 1 to get your basics right, your foundations right. So then you will find that level 2 you need less effort. Level 3, very little effort. That has to be like that, right? Because you must be really more and more independent, more and more think about your future rather than your degree. So that is the happy part. So those who do it in the wrong way, you will feel like this. This is your level 1. So but level 2 you feel more pressure. It's a burden because you have not understood, you have not done your foundations correct. So now you feel the stress. Now level 3, if you somehow manage to go there, අපි කියන්නේ ඇඟේ හයියෙන් යනවා කියලා, brute force, ඒ කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඟේ හයියෙන් විභාග පාස් කරන කට්ටිය. So then you will be really stuck here. Even though you get the degree, you have no confidence to go for industry. So that is the unhappy, wrong way of doing things. So those who do it in a proper way, right, you have to put a lot of effort here because you know that in the future I'm going to get the benefits. Okay, so level 1 you need to put up the biggest effort. Even when you go to the level 2 you will find that I need less effort, that you will feel by yourself if you are doing it in a proper way. When you go to level 2, it's even lesser effort, and of course level 3 with very little effort you can pass. But if you have done it in a proper way and if you have built your character competencies by the level 1 and level 2, okay, so therefore be prepared to put up more effort in level 1, and naturally it is going to need less and less effort in your level 2 and level 3, and you will be more and more comfortable, confidence with your studies. But if you do it in a proper way in level 1, okay. Right, I have answered most of these FAQs. Now some of you also ask these questions, right? What is the pass mark for IT subject? It is C or above. If it is C minus or below, you have to repeat that subject. For EN subject, currently pass mark is 50, but most probably they will make that also into 40, but still I can't say officially because the university has to officially publish it. Okay, I will update you guys on that once they officially publish it. So if I fail some subject, do I have to repeat all the subjects? No, you have to repeat only the fail subject. So if you pass some subjects and fail some subject, you are not allowed to repeat the pass subject. You are forced to repeat the fail subject. Okay, as simple as that. It's not like your A level, right? So in A level, usually if you fail chemistry, you do all 3 again, right? But that is not the case at degree level. So can I resit exam for pass subjects? Simply no. So if you have passed, that is C or above, you can't resit for that exam, that subject. Okay. So if I pass all the other subject but fail one of the EN subject, can I proceed to the next level? No, you can't, because one of the condition is violated. Simply you can't. So there are such kind of students. Last year in our class, lot of A's, introductory maths failed. So that student cannot go to the level 2. Okay. So that you have to understand, if there are policies and procedures, you have to abide by, right? You can't change the policies. Okay. So you have to do that subject next year, and following year only that student can go to the next level 2. So I am also not, I'm not, so I don't agree with that condition, but it's my agreement, doesn't matter. Finally it is the university's agreement. Okay, so therefore you can't change the rules. If you want to change the rules, first be successful using the current rules. So then you go get into that kind of an influential post and you change the rules, right? So if I absent just one subject in a level, can I proceed to the next level? Simply no, because that absent subject is considered as E. Okay, that absent subject is considered as E. So do I have to wait till semester 1 results are released to start semester 2? No, because semester 2 is just a continuation of semester 1. Actually, this is a trap. Some students just wait for semester 1 results and then when they get the semester 1 results, they find that they don't have enough time to do the semester 2, because all of a sudden then semester 2 exams are there. Okay. Right. So that's it. So any other question? So presentation is already available in the Google Classroom. Okay. So this presentation and whatever the presentation we do per day, it's already available in the Google Classroom. So that is why I asked you to check the invitation link. Okay. So those who have the invitation link can accept. So you can accept. You can access the presentation. Right. For example, so this presentation is already available under general resources. Okay. Right. So after the break, we'll move on to, now you are the last batch. So so for example, we started the first BIT batch for the 2023 about 5 months ago, and that batch is almost over now. And we are just doing one session per day, week, just about 2 hours per week, because we have more time. Now we are waiting for the exam, right? So, but you are the last batch. So therefore, we are going to do a little bit faster than the others, right? So that is why we straight away started. And okay, so we'll have a break. Now it's 9:37, and also we start on time. So when we say 8, it is 8. So we don't say 8 to 8:10. Okay, 8 means 8. Okay, we may finish early, but we start on time, right? We start on time. This is not like a school periods. School period එක 8යි පිස්සට විතර නේද? අපි එහෙම නෑ. හරි අපි ස්කෝල් නෙමෙයිනේ. Right. So we'll take a break. Now it's say 9:40. We'll be starting at 9:55. Okay. And we'll start our first subject, information system. Okay. I will give an introduction to the subject and we start. Okay. And especially those who have not done O-level ICT, A-level ICT, these first topics are super important. So those who have done O-level ICT, A-level ICT, of course, you may feel like these are a little bit boring, but you have to accept it, because not everyone is in the same level. Okay. Right. So we'll be starting at 9:55. Okay. So you can just stay in the session, or you can disconnect and connect back. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. Right. So now we'll move on to our first subject, information system. Okay. So what are the subject we have? Information system, computer system, programming, FOSS, application software, and also introductory maths. Okay. But we do additional communication skills sessions, maybe for first few days only, but we'll not do the full syllabus. Okay. Right. And if you have anything to clarify further, first thing you have to refer is the university handbook, which is available in the BIT website also. The BIT.lk website. So just download the handbook, 2022 handbook. Still they haven't uploaded, so they will upload it after yours session, your academic calendar start. So just download this, and also keep looking for the announcements and so on. Okay. If you need more information until you get the VLE access. So once you get the VLE access, this is the link, virtual learning environment. So maybe still your logins are not working. Right? Your logins are not working. Once you get the login, you will be able to log into the system. Okay. Then you will be able to see the course material. So you can see still semester 1 materials they have not added. Okay. So similar to this, right? So you will see the content afterwards. Okay. Practice quizzes, study materials, and any other things. Okay. So that is how it goes. Right. So that is your still you haven't got the access to this virtual learning environment. And if you have any doubts, first of all, refer to the university handbook, okay, BIT handbook, about the GPA calculations, gradings, and so on, okay. So then only you can refer to anything else if it is not mentioned there, because this is your official handbook, okay. Right, so let's move on to our topic number 1, information systems, okay. So every topic has a syllabus published by the university that you can find it from the university VLE also. For the information system, the syllabus is available in our Google Classroom as well. Okay. And also have a look at the past papers and get a feeling about it. Some students, what they do is they do the studies without looking at the past papers. So then you don't know, especially when it comes to exams, you don't have any idea what kind of things they are expecting from you. Okay. Right. So therefore, let's quickly look at the past syllabus first. And also they change the syllabus every 3 years. Okay. So they change the syllabus every 3 years. So that is another headache if you have repeat subject. If you have repeat subject, sometimes you have to adjust to the new subjects. So that duplicate your effort. Okay. So therefore, best thing is you quickly finish it, because every 3 years the syllabus change. Sometimes that subject is no longer there because IT field is changing very fast. Okay. So that is why we don't encourage you to stop your course and start it in another 2 years. So then all of a sudden you will find that you are in a new world. Okay. New concepts. So this is the fastest moving field in the world. Okay. Right now. So you have to get into that mood if you are into the IT field. Okay. Right. So you have 7 topics. This is the easiest subject in your semester 1 anyway. Easiest subject, the theory subject. But again, exams is really challenging and fussy also. So information system concepts and technologies. So that is what we want to do today and hopefully finish it. Information system for organizations and globalization. Electronic and mobile commerce, electronic business systems, specialized systems and new technologies, information system acquisition, security, ethical, privacy, and other challenges. Okay. So at the end of this subject, so this is sort of the umbrella subject, giving you gentle introduction to most of the other subjects like software engineering, system analysis and design, project management, e-business, and so on, and entrepreneurship. So this is just a gentle introduction to those subjects. Okay, so that is why we are starting this subject, because this is a gentle introduction to your other subject in semester 1 as well, semester 1 and 2. So at the end of this subject, okay, that is end of the semester 1. So you must have very good understanding about what is an information system. So why do we need information systems? Right? What are the characteristics of information system? How can we build information systems? What are the possible options? So how can information systems help business organizations to take their business into the next level? And what are the ethical, legal, security aspects when it comes to using information systems? What are the new trends, new technologies that are emerging when it comes to information systems? Right? It's a theory subject, but it's a very important subject. Okay. Right. So similarly, we will be starting the computer system subject in the after the lunch also. So of course, right. So gradually we will start those subject and gradually we will proceed and finish it. Right. So the first topic is information systems, concepts, and technologies. I told you that if you have done A-level ICT or maybe O-level ICT, some of these things will be pretty much familiar to you. But the thing we do is we look at those simple things in a very serious manner. So that is what is needed in higher education. That is what we need from higher education. Okay. So we need seriousness. Right? We need seriousness. We need that seriousness from the doctor, engineer, entrepreneur, accountant. Right? So pay attention to small things also. Right? So you don't make mistakes. You are very precise. You know how important that for a surgeon, right? That precision. Someone who is doing a neurosurgery, someone who is doing a bypass, someone who is doing a surgery on your someone's eyes. So that is the expectation from professionals. So that is why we try to take the best, right? Best, because they have very little tolerance for mistakes. So they don't satisfy with A, they are looking for good A. So then they care the same level when it comes to a life. When it comes to, say, engineer, when it comes to billions of investment, the lives of people. So they care the same. So they have that seriousness. So that is the difference between an ordinary person and a professional. So that is why a lot of people, students cannot pass BIT because they are so casual. So their mindset is not that level. එයා ඉන්නේ අර ආපයක් දාන තනකොළ කපන mindset එකේ. තනකොළ කපන mindset එකේ. කැත්ත හෙට වැනුණත් එකයි මෙහෙට වැනුණත් එකයි. එහෙම කැත්ත හෙට වැනුණත් එකයි මෙහෙට වැනුණත් එකයි වගේ සර්ජරියක් කරන්න බෑනේ. එහෙට වැනුණොත් අර ඕගන් එක ඉවරයි මෙහෙට වැනුණොත් අනිත් ඕගන් එක ඉවරයි. right? So ඒකට තනකොළ කපන මිනිස්සෙක් එකපාරට ඇඳුමක් අඳලා ගිහිලා දාන්නේ නැහැ නේ. ඔයා සර්ජන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කියලා ඔයාට ලක්ෂ 10ක් දෙන්න මම ඔයා සර්ජන් කෙනෙක් කරන්නම් කියලා. නෑ නේ ඔයා ඒක පෙන්වන්න ඕන. So same thing, right? So same thing. We don't give that kind of a big responsibilities. A business entrepreneur, CEO, managing director, engineer, accountant, and so on, right? So we need that seriousness. So therefore, yes, we will look at some simple things, but in a very serious manner. Okay, right. So at the end of the first topic, so you must have a very good understand about what is information system, what is mean by managing informations in the digital world, what is mean by computer-based information system, and information system infrastructure, component of information system infrastructure, and so on. It's very simple. Yes, I know. But remember, this BIT degree program is completed. So thousands of students register for BIT. Thousands. But if you look at the statistic, last year also, there are about 325 students have passed got the degree. It's around 200 to 300 students get the degree. So then someone will ask, why? So that is something you have to ask from yourself also after some time. So why? So because this is very easy to register, you can register it from home. The course fees are not very high. So therefore everyone register. අර අපි කියන්නේ කොල්ලයි බල්ලයි ඔක්කොම register වෙනවා සමහරවල්. සමහරට මෙල්ලෝ ආසාවක් නැහැ. සමහරට register වුණාට පස්සේ ආයි exam එක දවස් තමයි මතක් වෙන්නේ. සමහර exam ගිහිලත් ගන්න. So that is why, right? So this degree program is not as is more difficult than the internal degree program of the UCSC. No, it's the same level. Only thing is, so these internal students have a lot of commitment, which we don't find in most of the external students, because they think this is part-time, right? Of course, you have to put same effort as those internal students because it's the same sort of exam. So that is why this passing rate is very low, right? So you have to blame yourself at the end. So take another student from NSBM, SLIT. So they go to the university all 5 days. They stay there. Now, do you think that you can get the same level of a degree by just spending 2 or 3 hours? So you sometimes, if you don't have that time for that time, say just 2 or 3 hours per day, so then don't expect that kind of a qualification. Okay. Right. So therefore, yes, we are looking at simple things, but so you have to be very serious about the simple things. Okay. So your degree is not as or more difficult than the others' degrees. It's in the same level. Almost all the degrees are in the same level. Okay. Right. So let's move on. So the note that we will be using is Introduction to ICT. This is our note. So remember, so we prepare the notes based on the university note, and sometimes we have to fill a gap. Now remember, I told you there's a gap. If you have not done O-level ICT, A-level ICT, that gap we fill during these sessions. Right? These sessions. So therefore, we will cover more things than in the university level, university note. Right? But that happens only for first few days. After sometimes that gap is filled, then we just move with sort of the same note as the university note. Okay. Right. So this is the note. You can download it from the Google Classroom under Information Systems subtopic. Okay. I will be using the PowerPoint, but you have the PDF version. Okay. So if you click and you should be able to download the. If you can't download, just go to the print and it will download it. So it will download the note for you. So this is the note because some student asked where is the note. Okay. Right. So I will be using the presentation on the PDF version. So we are done. Introduction to ICT. Right. So try to, now there are 2 ways we can conduct the lectures. Okay. So there are 2 styles of lecturing. One style is it's a pure lecture. So lecturer talks, others take notes and blah, blah, blah. Right. But I like to do it so that there's some lecturers prefer that style. So they just deliver the lecture and finish it. The second style is have a dialogue between the students, and of course there's nothing called students in university level, right? So students are in the schools, right? Students are in the schools. So I have heard these words, right? So some people call student. Some people even go into a worse level and say kids. ළමයි කියලා කියනවා. කොයි ළමයි කොහෙද BIT degree. ළමයි කියනවා නම් එතන මොකක් කරේ මේ ගුරු ලෙක්චරර්ගේ ඔළුවේ අමාරුවක් තියෙනවා. ළමයි ඉන්න ඉස්කෝලවලනේ. ළමයි හදා ගන්න වෙනවා ඒගොල්ලන්. මෙතන ළමයි ශිෂ්‍යයොත් නැහැ. ශිෂ්‍යයෝ ඉන්න ඉස්කෝලවල. යුනිවර්සිටි වල ඉන්න කවුද? Higher education. Can anyone tell me? How do you call them? How do you call them? So first, because this is not the 14th or 13th or the 14th year of the school. Scholars. So you are looking for knowledge, right? You are looking for knowledge, exploring knowledge. Okay. So therefore, it must be ideally a dialogue. Right? It must be a dialogue, right? And of course, you have to put a lot of effort from your side and get it, right? So we just help you, we just facilitate you, we just put you into that mindset mode. Okay. Right. So therefore, let's try to be interactive as much as possible, especially because we are meeting only once a week, not like 5 days a week, like internal students. So therefore, you have to get the maximum out of that. Okay. Otherwise, you will feel like you know it, but when you go to the exams and so on, you find that no, I'm not good enough. So then the vicious cycle start. Repeat, repeat. Right. And after sometimes you feel like this is a mess. Okay. So it's up to you to do it properly or miss it. Right. So therefore, these things are very basic things, but so let's spend a little bit more time at the beginning. Okay, so then we can pick up later. Right. So this is what we are going to look at in this particular lecture. Introduction to ICT. Your subject is information systems. Okay. Evolution of ICT era. Data and information systems. Remember, our subject name is information systems. Okay, so therefore, obviously, and then of course your subject information systems. So also we look at communication, then CBIS, and some new trends. Okay. Right. So why we are having this subject, information systems? So one of the reason is these days everyone is interested in information systems, ISS. So ISS are the most critical systems in the world right now for business and other organizations. So the reason is why ISS are the most critical, because we are living in the ICT era or IT era. Right? So we have passed the hunting era. Right? So you have to learn a little bit about the evolution of humans. Okay. Homo sapiens, before Homo sapiens, we had what? So can someone tell me, before Homo sapiens, what kind of species were there related to us? The previous one? Anyone? So don't just learn IT. The world is full of knowledge. Homo neanderthal, Homo erectus, right? So then, so we moved on to the hunting. So we got out of the wood into civilization more and more. So then we passed the hunting era into the agricultural era. So if you take something like Sri Lankan history, Anuradhapura era, Polonnaru era. So before now, somewhere around 1900, 1800, the entire world was agricultural era. Then somewhere around 1600, 700, 800, we moved on to the industrialization. So in Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan people never naturally felt it, because by that time, when the industrialization was happening in the world, unfortunately, Sri Lanka was a colony. Right? So remember 1500 to 1948. So while we were under the rule of different European nations, the world went through the industrialization. Actually, because the world went through the industrialization and we were not a part of that, we became the victim of that. And we became the victim of that. And still we cannot get out of that. And still today, still we are a bankrupt country. Still we are not paying debts. Right? Still we are not paying foreign debts. So we are a bankrupt country. Bangkolot ratak. Because we never experienced that, okay? This industrialization. But some other countries, they pick up. Even countries like Singapore, even India is now doing well. Right. So then we moved from industrialization to information era. That happened somewhere 1990s, 2000. Right. So some of you may have born by that time, but some of others, you may have, most of you guys may not have seen that, but we saw it. Moving from industrialization to the information era. Right? So now we are living in the information era. Some students think that we are living in the industrialization era. No, we are no longer living in the industrialization era. So that is why if someone asks what is the hot opportunities, job opportunities, it is no longer mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. No, it is software IT field, because we are no longer living in industrial era. It doesn't mean that there is no industrialization. Of course, industrialization is there, but the driving force is information technology. Right? So when the driving force is information technology, the most important is the information systems. So that is why your subject is information systems. Okay. So right now we are connected. We are conducting this class through Zoom information system. And we use Google Classroom information system. We use WhatsApp information system. When you go to the bank, you use an information system, the ATM. When you go to the supermarket, they use information system, billing system. So everywhere we use information systems. So people are addicted to another information system called smartphones. Some people, not everyone. So how many hours people spend with information systems, whether you like it or not? So that is where the things are happening. That is where the business is. Okay. So that is why we are really interested in information systems. Okay. So before move on to information, right, in order to understand what is information system, first of all, we have to understand what is data, because you can't talk about information without first discussing data. And again, this is a degree program. So I need serious answers. Serious answers. At least try to be serious. Okay. So can someone tell me, according to your understanding, what is mean by data? Anyone? So you have to build your character also, right? Your leadership, your communication skills. So you can't hide. You have to expose to the society, expose to the world. So those who have done O-level ICT, A-level ICT, so they can take the leadership. What is data? And if you don't have answer after doing O-level ICT, A-level ICT, if you are not confident enough to give an answer, do you think that you will get that confidence in the future? So do you think that you have done your job? You have done your studies properly? Can someone tell me what is mean by data? If you are not very sure about your English, you can use Sinhala also. Of course, unfortunately, I can't understand much of a Tamil. Because people always like to hide behind English. So they don't know anything, but they say, I don't know English. But reality, they don't know anything. They are not confident of anything, but they just hide behind the word English. What is mean by data? Yeah, properties or attributes of entities are all data. So that is the perfect answer. Anywhere in the world, whether you are in New York or London or Paris, if someone asks what is data, data is properties or attributes of entities. So then someone will ask, what is an entity? So properties can lakshan, right? Attributes, lakshan. So can someone give me example of a data? Example. Just give me 5 examples of data. Anyone? Yes, you can talk. Anyone?
My bank account, my age, gender, currency rate.
Your bank account, is it data?
Yes.
Others are correct. Your age is data. Your interest rate, account interest rate is data, but bank account is not a data. So that is why I want you to talk, because then only we can find the small things and fix it. Okay. So basically your account is not a data, but all the others are correct. So your account is an entity, right? Your account is an entity. So remember, data is properties or attributes of entities. So I am an entity. So my name, Nalaka, is a data. My date of birth is a data. My contact number is a data. But I am an entity. So this course fee is there. Course starting date is there. But this course is entity. Okay. So what is data? Data is properties or entity attributes of entities. Now we have to understand what is an entity. What is an entity? So then everything is going to be clear. What is an entity? Another name for entity is thing, but thing is little bit confusing. That is why we use the word entity. සිංහලෙන් කොට කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලාද? භූතාර්ථ. සිංහලෙන් O level ICT කරපුවා A level ICT කරපුවා හන්දනේ කොහෙන් හොයාගත්ත වචනයක්ද කියලා ගන්න. හරි? ඒක නෙමෙයි. බුටපට ඔක්කොම. So don't worry, we are going to have English session in the evening. That will be the last session. Okay? So අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි කතා කරනවා. grammar පොඩි revision නෑ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඉංග්‍රීසි ගන්නන්න මට ඔළුව අමාරුවක් නෑ. Just doing a quick revision. Okay? To get into that sort of a mentality. So just be patient, right? පොඩ්ඩක් patience තියෙන්න ඕන. එකපාරට ඔක්කොම කරන්න බෑනේ. ඉංග්‍රීසි IT ඔක්කොම කරන්න බෑනේ එක වෙලාවේ. Right. So can someone tell me what is an entity? මොකද්ද මේ entity එකක් කියන්නේ? So in the database subject later you will learn something called ER diagrams, entity relationship diagrams. Okay. What is an entity? Now those who have the knowledge, confidence, you have to talk because that your confidence can be transferred to others. So that is very important. නේ අපි හරි කැමතිනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පොඩි කාලේ හරියට අම්මලා කැමති නේද රෝයල් එකට යවන්න ආනන්දයට යවන්න විශාඛයකට යවන්න මොකද්ද මේකේ රහස? ඔය ඉස්කෝලවල උගන්වන්න මගුලක් නැහැ. හරි ඔය ඉස්කෝලවල 아무තු ඉගෙනිල්ලක් උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ඔය ඉස්කෝලවල උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ අර පොඩි ඉස්කෝලේ උගන්වනවා 100න් එකක්වත්. හොඳම ගුරුවරු ටික නෙමෙයි අප්සෙට් ගුරුවරු ටික ඔය ඉන්නේ. හැබැයි ඔයාලට වාසියක් තියෙනවා. එතනට ගිය ගමන් ඔයාලට වැටෙනවා නේද? ලංකාවෙන් වැඩිම ලකුණු ගත්ත ළමයි ටිකත් එක්ක හැසිරෙන්න හම්බ වෙනවා. හරි එතකොට ඔයාව නිකම්ම ඉස්සරහට තල්ලු වෙනවා. මොකද ඒගොල්ලොත් එක්ක නැත්තම් සර්වයිව් වෙන්න බෑ. So that confidence transfer from one person to the other. So that is why that approach is very bad. So that approach is very bad. එතකොට අර ඉස්කෝලේ ඉතුරු වෙච්ච ළමයට මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒ ළමයට තියෙච්ච opportunity එක නැති නේද? එයාට වැඩි හොඳ එක්කෙනෙක්ගෙන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉගෙන ගන්න යම. එයා හැසිරෙන විදිය බලන්න. එයාව ගෙනහිල්ලා දානවා රෝයල් එකට. So that is something wrong with our system, but that is something, whether we like it or not, everywhere we have that problem, right? So therefore, those who have the confidence, so try to take that leadership because you are helping others also build their confidence. So what is mean by entity? Oh, anyone? What is mean by entity? සිංහලෙන් කියනවා භූතාර්ථ කියලා. So entity is basically anything that we are interested, right? So that anything can be living physical thing, right? Living physical thing, non-living but physical thing, or conceptual thing, right? So we can categorize. Why do we categorize? Then we cover everything. So then, because now when I ask what is the entity, most of you guys have no answer, but I have answer. So that is the difference between you and me. So that is the difference between someone who is going for a job interview, someone who is not having confidence to go for a job interview. So what is entity? Entity is, this is the ABC. අද තමයි ABC alphabet එක කරන්නේ IT වල. ඒකට ඔයා A level අවුරුදු දෙකක් ICT කරලා මේකට උත්තර දෙන්න බෑ. නම් ඔයාගේ A level ICT fail. O level ICT කරලා අවුරුදු නේද? අවුරුද්දක් දෙකක් තුනක් තිස්සේ මේකට උත්තර දෙන්න බෑ නම් data කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? entity කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කියන්න බෑ නම් information කියන්නේ මොකද්ද බෑ නම් ඉතින් මොන IT ද? So entities in IT field we say entity can be a living thing, non-living physical thing, or it can be a conceptual thing. So basically anything, but that thing can be living physical, non-living physical, or conceptual. For example, student. entity. Employee, entity. Patient, entity. Teacher, entity. Living physical things. Those are not data, those are entities. So then what about non-living physical? If you take supermarket, the goods are there. Right? Astra margarine, SR, whatever, right? Signal, Astra. Non-living. Vehicle, a machine, entities. Non-living physical entities. And the third one is more interesting. So your bank account is not a data. Your bank account is an entity. It's a conceptual entity. Now, can someone tell me 5 such entities? එක්කෙනෙක් පහම කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ පහක් කියන්න බලන්න. හැබැයි ඒවා conceptual දේවල්, but it must not be a data. It must be entity. I will list down. So understanding the difference between data and entity is the number one. The day one you have to differentiate this. Right. Course is an entity. Yes, I accept that as a perfect answer. Don't worry, you can give wrong answers also. ඒකනේ මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ නේද ඔක්කොම දන්නවා නම් සියල්ල දත්තා මෙතන එන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. What else? So bank account I already mentioned, right? Bank account. What else? විශේෂයෙන් O level ICT A level ICT කරපුවා දැන් මේක කියන්න බැරි නම් so right, so it's a you are terrible, right? Order. Doctor, how can you say doctor is a concept? Doctor ගියාම අපිට doctor පේනවානේ, doctor කතා කරනවා අපිත් එක්ක. Name is not an entity, name is data. ඔන්නෝකයි මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ උත්තර ගන්න හදන්නේ. So name is wrong, payment is correct. School physical name. ඉස්කෝලේ ගියාම පේනවනේ තාප්පය ඇතුලේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ school එක concept එකක්ද? If it is online class, conceptual. But school physical. Building තියෙනවා. උදේට යනවා කට්ටිය දොර ගේට්ටුව අරගෙන. තේනත් කොච්චර වරදින්න ඉඳ තැන් තියෙනවද කියලා දැන්. So some of you, they are not conceptual entities. Some of those are not entities, they are data. Name is data. Order correct. Syllabus correct. Syllabus correct. It's an entity. Right? Order, payment, course, bank account, registration. Right? Say appointment, reservation. So those are all entities, conceptual entities, right? Of course, employee, student, doctor, living physical, machine, goods, vehicle, non-living physical. And these are conceptual entities. Okay, conceptual entities. Salary, is it an entity? So there's a little bit of confusion, right? So when we say salary, what do you mean by salary? Salary කියන්නේ මොකද්ද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ කියන එක මත depends වෙනවා ඒක. If someone says my salary is 100,000 rupees, so that is not entity, that is a property of an employee. Right? That is property of your employee. But if you take salary as a this month's salary, then it is entity. So that is why I straight away I didn't say your answer is correct or wrong. The way you look at it, I don't know how you looked at it. But if you just say salary as a figure, it's a property, it's a data. But if you want, you can take your salary as an entity as well. Then the salary date is there, basic salary is there, gross salary is there, deductions are there. So then your salary is an entity. Right? So there you can see there's a not confusion. Sometimes you can look at it as an entity, or you can look at it as a data. And some cases it's purely a data or purely entity. Okay. So So remember, you have the data management next, database in second semester, data management in third semester. So the most important thing is, first of all, understand what is data, what is entity, what is information, right? Right. Salary of an employee, again, the way you look at it, okay? The way you look at it. Right. So now I hope you have a very good understanding, or at least the basic entry-level understanding about what is data. Data is attribute or properties of entities. And remember, data is always conceptual thing. So data is always conceptual thing. Right? It's intangible thing. But entities, some of the entities are tangible, touch karanna puluwan. Right? Living physical things you can touch, like a student, an employee. Non-living physical things you can touch. Tangible means can touch. But there are non-tangible or intangible things, that is conceptual entities. Right? Conceptual entities. So entity is a big concept. If that concept has properties, it is not a data, it is an entity. Right? So student is an entity because student has properties. Whereas name is a data because name, you don't have further properties. It's more basic thing. Data is more basic thing. Entity is more, it's a concept of its own. Right? So the first thing you have to understand is what is data, what is entity, because you are doing IT. IT කරන කෙනකින් data කියන්නේ මොනවද කියන එක උත්තර නැත්නම් මම නම් කියන්නේ ඊට වැඩි හොඳයි වලක් කපාගෙන බලලෙනවා. එයා කරපු IT එකක් නෑ අවුරුදු දෙක තුනක් තිස්සේ. ලංකාවේ එක තමයි වෙන්නේ. හරි IT කරපු අයගෙන් එහම IT data කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා උත්තර නැහැ. හැබැයි කරලා තියෙන IT. කරලා නෙමෙයි මලවලා. නේද? කරලා නෙමෙයි නිකන් මොකද්ද කරලා. ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද කරේ කියලා. Right. So never confuse data with entity. So you must be able to say this is a data, this is entity. If you look at it in this way, this is entity, or if you look at that way, this is data, and so on. And most of the time, it's very straightforward. You can straight away say it's a data, it's an entity. Okay. Right. So now we move on to our next word, information, because our subject is information system. Your degree is Bachelor of Information Technology. So let's take first things first. පළවෙනි දවසේ ඒවා ටික ක්ලැරිෆයි කරගෙන ඉන්න. නැත්නම් අන්තිමට අර කියන අයත් නොදන්නී අය යන මාවත මාත් නොදන්නී මා යන මාවත කියලා data දන්නෙත් නැහැ, information දන්නෙත් නැහැ, communication දන්නෙත් නැහැ, මොනවාද මගුලක් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. අන්තිමට වෙච්ච මගුලකුත් නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ ඉන්ටර්විව් එකට යන්න confidence එක නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ රැකියා ඉරිතු උපාධාරීන් කියලා බෝඩ් එකක් උස්සගෙන ඉන්න තමයි වෙන්නේ. Right. So what is information? Information is processed data. So when you process data, now you know what is data is. Data is attributes or properties of entities. We call it information. Okay. So some data you don't have to process. Right? So that data itself is information. It's something like some fruits, right? So you don't have to process, you can consume it. Like a mango. But some other things we want to process it. Say raw rice, we want to process it and get boiled rice. Some of the vegetables we want to process it, then only it's more useful. Okay. So data is good, but information will be better. And some cases data itself is good enough. Okay. So data is raw. Because we process data, of course, information needs process. But again, sometimes we don't have to process. Right? Or sometimes we just have to process slightly, or you don't have to process at all. But in some cases, you have to process a lot. Right? So data is may be useful, sometimes not that useful, but information is usually more useful if you do it properly. But if you don't do it properly, of course, your information is going to be less useful than data. That means you have not done any proper processing. You have done some processing for the sake of processing. Same thing that can happen to you also, right? So a student without degree, student with a degree. So in general, people will say, yes, student with a degree is better. But if you have done a wrong thing in that degree program, a degree program එක ඇතුලේ කරේ නවක වදේ දෙන එක නම් කුහකම් පුරුදු කරන එක නම් නේද? තව තවත් තමන්ගේ ආත්ම ගෞරවය ආත්ම ශක්තිය නැති කරන එක නම් ඒ ඩිග්‍රී එක ගත් එක අර ඩිග්‍රී නැති එකට වඩා කාලකන්ණි. So that is why we want to do the proper processing. ඒතර මේ ඩිග්‍රී නැති එක හොඳට ජොබ් කරනවා. රට යනවා. ඩිග්‍රී ගත්ත එක කාලකන්ණියෙක් වගේ ඉන්නවා. ඒ අය වැරදි process කරලා. process කරලා දිනවා වැරදි විදියට. වහදාලා. කර කරලා. So therefore we have to do the correct processing in the correct context, then information might be better than data. But sometimes you need just a small processing, sometimes we need a lot of processing, right? Sometimes you don't need any processing as well. So therefore, let's not do processing for the sake of processing. දකින දේ process කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. So let's take into the more practical example. Say the unit price of an item is a data. But what you are interested in is your bill amount when you go to the supermarket. Your individual transactions, data. Your current bank balance is the information. Your marks for individual subject is data, but your Z score, GPA. So this is where we take decisions. By looking at your Z score, by looking at your GPA, we decide whether you get a first class, second class, can you go to the next level, right? So this is good, but this is better, right? So this is good, this is better, because we have done it in a proper way. We have done it in proper. නිකම් මාක්ස් ටිකක් කරන් දෙකෙන් වැඩි කරලා පහෙන් බෙදලා වර්ගමූලය වලට වැඩක් නැහැ. මොකක් හරි තියෙනවා විශේෂ විදියකට ප්‍රොසෙස් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක ESET score වෙන්න ඕනේ, GPA වෙන්න ඕනේ. So we don't just process for the sake of processing, right? We do a proper processing in a proper context. So individual transaction amounts of a business organization. So those are all data, but finally we can get the profit for a particular quarter, net profit. So that is information, right? So what is information? Information is processed data in a proper context, and most of the time information is better than data if you do that processing properly. Okay, so what are the usages of information? We can use it for our personal usages, private things, or business or official things. So maybe you're interested in today's weather. That's information. After processing previous rainfalls, pressure, humidity, wind direction, and everything, they give you the information. Today's weather forecast. That is the information. And that you use for your personal things. Maybe should I go for a trip? Should I go for outing? Shall we go to Nuvarelia or Anuradhapura? So maybe you want to calculate your total monthly expenses for your personal decision making. So those are information. So we can use information for personal use. Of course, we use the information system for our personal day-to-day life heavily. Right? Social media, right? Your personal apps in your smartphone. So then we can use information or sometimes even data for business or official things. Banks, business organizations, and so on. Factories, manufacturing, and so on. So these are some of the usages, like predictions we can do, like weather prediction. We can use it for planning. So should I go use this path or that path? So that is information system. Google Map is an information system that we all use. So we take decisions based on the alternative routes and traffic situations, policy making for governments, right? So now remember the now we had about almost 100% inflation. මයින්නු කපුටෝ පාලනය කරපු කාලයක් ගන්න 100%ක් වෙන්නම 80ක් 90ක් වුණා ඉන්ෆ්ලේෂන් එක. හරක් පාලනය යටතේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක දුන්නා ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්ස් ලාට. then so they increased the interest rates initially, right? So then now they have taken the measures properly with proper analysis. Now the things are pretty much under control. So policy making. How do they take those decisions? ඒගොල්ලෝ හරියට කියවනේ මේක ඩබල් ඩිජිට් එකකට මේ කාලේ වෙනකොට එනවා. මේ කාට් එක 100ට මෙච්චරකින් contract වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මෙච්චර කාටකින් expand වෙන්න ඕන ලබන අවුරුද්දේ first part එකේ ඉඳලා. They can do those things, but when they have the proper information and of course the people skills as well. Okay. So therefore it's very important you identify for a given scenario, you must be able to identify these are the data, these are the information, and these are the usages. Right? Say daily rainfall amount of each city, data. So information, maybe average rainfall for each month. Usage, what is the best time to organize a cricket tournament? දැන් පහුගිය දවස්වල cricket board එක බැලුනේ වෙන්නේ. ඕන ඌරුවෙක් දන්නවා කොළඹට වැඩිම වහින්නේ ඔක්තෝබර් සෙප්තැම්බර් කියලා. So ඒක බූරුවෙකුත් දන්නවා. ක්‍රිකට් බෝඩ් එකේ ඉන්න බූරුව දන්නේ නැතුණා. Right? So say Colombo climate එනවා. මේ කාලේ හොඳටම වහිනවා. සෙප්තැම්බර්, ඕගස්ට් ආයි මෙන්න මැච් දාන්න ඕන කාලේ. ඔක්තෝබර්, නොවැම්බර්, දෙසැම්බර්, ජනවාරි, පෙබ්‍රුවරි, මාර්ච්, ඒප්‍රිල් නැත්නම් ඒක දෙන්න ඕන. ඩුබායි හරි කොහෙට හරි දෙන්න ඕනේ. So this is where you get the biggest rain, right? So this is the information. So we can take decisions based on that. Right? We can take decisions based on that. Or we can decide whether should we go for something like Dambulla. Right? So marks of a student of each subject, data, he set score, information, and select for a particular degree program, it's a use of that information. So daily morning blood pressure level of a patient, data, maybe monthly average blood pressure of that patient or weekly average blood pressure information. Maybe the doctor can decide whether to increase or decrease the drug. So that is usage. So that usage, that decision can be taken by looking at this information but not looking at this data. So data is not good enough. Data is not good enough. So they need the information. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා නෑ. ඔයාගේ මාසෙම එක දිගට චෙක් කරන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් දවසක් කරලා දවසක් චෙක් කරන්න ඕනේ. අපිට average එක ඕනේ. Because these things can go up and down all the time. Right. So now let's look at what are the features of good information. Remember, we are in a competition. We are in a competitive world. Okay. So therefore, yes, information is good, but it's not only you provide the information. There are plenty of others providing information. Right? For example, so this is one way of looking at the weather. Say Colombo weather. So this is Google how it shows it with the help of weather.com. So this is one way of one information system how this information is provided to me. Right. So rainfalls and so on. So this is how weather.com information system giving it to me. So this is not the only system, right? So I can use something like, say, Colombo weather. AccuWeather. So this is another system. So this is how they present the same information to me. So they say it's 289 Celsius, fair, right? The current air quality is fair, and today's forecast. So which one you prefer? Which one you prefer? This one or this one? This shows hourly rainfall possible predictions. Daily for the today, morning, afternoon. Daily. Sorry, this is hourly forecast again. Daily forecast. Definitely you can see that this is better, right? So same information. Maybe they have different results also, but how they present. And this is how you find it in BBC. Of course, they are TV broadcasting, so therefore they have more ways to now same information presented in the different ways. Different ways. Of course, they have the advantage of the presenters as well.
Hello, thanks for joining me. Let's see what the weather's
Okay,
doing.
so you can
across
see
the subcontinent.
which one you prefer. And the same information, this is how our government is presenting it. අපි පඩි ගන්න හාල් පාරුව පෙන්වන විදිය තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. සයිට් එකක් ඩවුන්ද මන් දන්නේ. හයිනයක් ගහද කොහෙද? වෙදර් ඩිපාර්ට්මන්ට් එකට. දැන් ඒක යට වෙලක් දන්නේ නැහැ සර්වර්ස්. හොඳ වෙලාවට මේක පේන්නේ නැත්නම් මේක දැක්කනම් එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඉතින් මුන්ට හෙන ගහලා මදි කියලා. හරි? මෙන්න ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් ප්‍රසන්ට් කරන විදිය. හරි? ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්ස්ලා. හොඳ වෙලාවට මේක ආවෙ නැති දැක්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැක්කනම් එහෙම හිතන මුන්ට වැහි නැති වෙන වදින්න ඕන මේක ඉන්න කාලකන්ණි. කොහෙද ඇතිනේ IT කරපියෝ. හරි අපි ආවොත් බලමු ඒක. සමහරට සෙන්සුරා දන්ද වහලා දාලා යන්නේ නැත්නම් ආවේ. ඔන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රසන්ට් කරන විදිය. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝගේ දැනුමට අනුව තමයි ප්‍රසන්ට් කරලා දෙන්නේ. හරි? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දැනුමට අනුව තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රසන්ට් කරලා දෙන්නේ. මොනවද මේ තියෙන්නේ? නිව් තියනවලු, Facebook තියනවලු. ඔන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. තාම ඉස්සර වගේ කියනවා. Showers will occur times to times in Western Sabaragamuwa province and Galle and Matara district. අර තාම 6 ගුවන්විදුලි සංස්ථාවේ ප්‍රවෘත්ති ප්‍රකාශයට ලියුප් එක දානවා. ඒ කියන කාලකන්නිට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ ලෝක වෙනස් වෙලා ইনফরমේෂන් ප්‍රසන්ට් කරන විදිය වෙනස් වෙලා ইনফরমේෂන් ටෙක්නොලොජි එක වෙනස් වෙලා කියලා තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ උන්නම තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ පෙන්නන්නේ. හරිද? අපි මෙතනට ආවේ මේ ඉපනැල්ලක් බලා ගන්නද? නේද? වෙදර් ඩිපාර්ට්මන්ට් එකේ තියෙන්නේ නැව් බලන්නද? So therefore, let's look at what are the features of good information, because otherwise, අර ඔය ගොන් information, ගොන් system හදන්න පටන් ගන්නවා නේද? ගොන් නෙමෙයි පට්ට ගොන්. හරි පට්ට ගොන්. ඒ ගන්න පඩි වලටත් හෙන ගන්න ඕන. එච්චරයි කියන්නේ. Right, so the good information is always effective. It does the work, right? So effective means what? Does the work. අපිට ඕන වැඩේ වෙන්න ඕන. දැන් මේකට අපිට ඕන වැඩේ වුණාද මෙතනට ගියාම? මම යන්නේ මොකක් හරි ට්‍රිප් එකක් යන්න වෙන දෙයක් ප්ලෑන් කරගන්න නේද? අපිට ඕන වැඩේ වෙනවා මෙන්න මේ වගේ. නේද? 11ට මොකද වෙන්නේ? 12ට මොකද වෙන්නේ? 1ට මොකද වෙන්නේ? 2ට මොකද වෙන්නේ? right? හවසට මොකද වෙන්නේ? රැයට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මහ රැයට මොකද වෙන්නේ? So that is the difference between someone who are professionals and someone who are not professionals. Someone who know their subject, someone who has no idea about what they are doing. Okay. So good information does the work. So when you get that information, you can use it straight away. Right? And they are accurate. Their timeliness. So we get the information when we need it. Right? When we need it. For example, when you do a payment, you need that SMS within few seconds. So because you are using a card, right? You don't know what happened to that, right? It's a fraud or whatever. So no point getting that at the end of the month in the statement. And it must be relevant. අර තියුණා නේද? අරක තියුණා නේද? තේ වතු තියුණා. container රංගන තියුණා. ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතන දේවල්. So good information must be economical. It must not be too expensive. Of course, all these sites are giving it free of charge. And good information is reliable. So we can rely on those information. Good information is complete. So it gives you the information in different expected ways. Good information is flexible. Now you can see that good information. Say Colombo climate. So you can see it in tabular format. You can look at it in graphical format. It's very flexible. Right? It's very flexible. Right? It's very flexible. Right? Good information is verifiable. At any time, we can verify whether it's correct. For example, when you get your BIT degree certificate, so when you go for a job interview, how do they know whether it's a fake certificate or proper certificate? So the BIT website has a certificate verification page. So that adds value to your degree. So if someone says, no, I am not heard of University of Colombo, how can I verify that your degree certificate is correct? You can say, this is the University of Colombo website. This is the valid domain. And right? And this is the page. You can enter my certificate number and you can get my details. Done. You don't have to come to Colombo. You don't have to call them. You don't have to say it's embassy or something. So good information is verifiable. Good information is secure. Good information is simple. Good information is accessible from anywhere in the world at any time. Right? While you are traveling, while you are not in Sri Lanka, in the midnight 12 o'clock, at any time, any place, it must be available, if possible. So that is how we build information systems. It's not just building for the sake of building, we build the best. So professionals think about all these things when they design information system. Right? So that is what we need from you guys. Benum ahannati, right? Kala kanni kiyala kiyanne නැති විදියට information system හදන්න ඕන. Right. So next thing is value of information. So we can consider two factors again, the time factor and cost factor. So the highest value of information is at the information creation time. So that is why we want to give that information as fast as possible, because that is where the highest value. Right? So when your exam results are released, at that moment is the highest value. When you do a payment, the highest value is at that time. So if you get the SMS within 10 seconds, right? So my system generated within 10 seconds, your system generate after 1 minute. So my system has better value factor when it comes to time. Your system lacking that. Right? Your system lacking that. So sometimes when I do a money transfer, or when someone do a money transfer, I get immediate SMS, but sometimes the other party says, I know I haven't got it. So then I check, what is your bank? බැංකුවත් දෙක කියලා බැංකුවේ කාටවත් බයිනෝ ට්‍රාන්සැක්ෂන් එක උනා ගමන් SMS එක ගන්න එපා. SMS එක මොකක් කාලකයක් වගේ කලක් ගන්න ඕනද? පාල් කරන්න ඕනද? Okay. So that is very important. So the second one is cost factor. The cost factor means the value of the information must be bigger than the cost of the information. So then only people access it. Right? Then only people access it. For example, now we are using Zoom. Of course, we have to pay for Zoom. This is not the free Zoom. So we pay yearly subscription and use it. So why do we pay it? Because we feel that is worth. That is worth. So that is how the business happen. So we have to make sure that the benefit is bigger than the cost. Benefit is bigger than the cost. So then people will access your information. So this is not just building a system, okay? So now there are plenty of YouTubers, right? මේ YouTubers ලා සමහරු මිලියන ගණන් හම්බ කරනවා. ඇයි ඒ? කොහොමද මේ? අතින් වියදම් කරගෙන මේ data පුච්චගෙන කට්ටියවිල බලන්නේ නැහැ. Because they think it's worth. ඔය ASE ad යනවා. ඒ ad වල revenue එක යනවා. සමහර YouTubers ලා ඉන්නවා ලක්ෂ 10 15 මාසෙකට හොයනවා. 10 15 නෙමෙයි ඊට වැඩි හොයනවා. So because the benefit is high, it can be entertainment, it can be information, it can be education, whatever, right? Right. So now let's look at, now remember, it is not just building something, it is building the best, the most effective, useful system. So then only we can survive, we can go forward, we can be successful, our clients get the success and we get the success. Okay, so that is what every IT manager, every software engineer is trying. The professionals are doing. Professional කෙනෙක් අත ගැහුවම තියෙන වෙනස එච්චරයි. Professional කෙනෙක් අත ගැහුවම වැඩේ සාර්ථකයි, වැඩේ ලස්සනයි. වැඩේ complete, neat. Right. So now let's look at the life cycle of data, because we must know what we are doing, right? So first of all, data is created. Can someone tell me 5 places, 5 actions that create data, new data? 5 events, 5 actions, 5 situations where new set of data is created. IT කරපු අය. තොරතුරු තාක්ෂණය කරපු අය. Set of data is created. So when I do this, when someone else do that, set of data is created. So when data is created, the information systems or the other people are interested in capturing those data. So no one, right? කෙනෙක්වත් OLEO ICT කරලා නැහැ. OLEO ICT කරන්න ඕනේ මේක කතා කරා. So you go to the supermarket, you collect your items and go to the cashier. So every time they scan it, right, new data is created. Scan එක bill එකට add වෙනවානේ අලුත් data. So then they process the data and get the bill. That is the information. When a child born, set of data is created. උපැන්න සාතිකේ. ඒවට ඊට පස්සේ enter කරලා තමයි පොඩි එකා ඉස්පිරිතාලෙන් අරන් එන්නේ නේද? මනුස්සේ මරණවත් data create වෙනවා නේද? මරණ සාතිකේ. So when you register for the course, set of data is created. And sometimes they try to enter that data by yourself. That is why you have the online system. Right? So that is how the data is created. Right? So every bank transaction, every reservation, data is created. Okay. So then we have to manage it. We have to process it. We have to store it. Right? So that is what is meant by data management. And after sometimes we can remove it. We don't want to keep the data forever. Right? For example, say you went to a supermarket about 5 years ago and bought something, do you think that they still have your bill information? No, they may have deleted maybe after 1 year or 2 years. So do you think that your attendance details of your grade 1 is still there in the school? No. So therefore, data is created, data is managed, and we remove obsolete data. And some data we just keep it for future use. We call it data management, data mining. So remember, now we have another set of new jobs, data engineers, data engineers, data analytics. So there we use these historical data for better forecasting, predicting, and so on. Okay. So therefore, we don't delete all the data. Some data we delete, but some data we just keep it for long term. Long term. Especially those weather data and so on, definitely we keep. Maybe for last 100,000 years also it's worth. But not your billing transactions, right? But some of the billing transaction data they can keep as long as, for example, when I go to Singer shop to buy something, and they will ask what is your NIC number or your phone number. So then they can see all your billing history. Right? We see 1999 මේක අරන් තිනවා 2005 මේක අරන් තිනවා. So then they are in a better position to serve you. They know what you are interested, whether you have done your payments, installments properly. Okay. Right. So now let's look at what is the difference between IT and ICT, because your degree is Bachelor of Information Technology, whereas you have A-level ICT. So information technology and information and communication technology. So pretty much it's the same thing. Just a little bit of more emphasis on communication is given when it comes to ICT. Right? But most of the time when we say IT, we mean ICT, right? Because we can't take out communication and only discuss about information technology, because communication is very important part of information systems. Okay. So if you have more emphasis on communication, we can just say ICT rather than IT. But when we say IT, again, we are interested in communication. Right? For example, your degree is information technology, but you have the networking and other subjects. Okay. So therefore, let's look at what is communication also in a serious manner. Right? Because some of you may have done O-level ICT, A-level ICT, adukan subject එක And remember, I told you that we are going to have communication in the evening also, afternoon. You have communication skills 1 in semester 2, communication skills 2 in semester 3. Communication is super important. And some of you guys are not talking because you are not very confident about your communication. Right? Of course, some others are, by their character, they are very silent. That is fine. But some people want to talk, but they are not very confident about their communication. Right? What is communication? So communication, what is mean by communication? Anyone? What is mean by communication? So communication ගැන මොනවද කියලා දැනගෙන ඉන්න බෑ. communication කරගන්න නන්නේ. Exchange of data. Yeah, exchange of data, or if you take it more general, exchange of data, exchange of idea, okay, exchange of information. සමහරවල් data නෙමෙයිනේ අපි අහන data කොහොමද හොඳයි කාලද ඔව් බඩගිනිද නෑ ඔය WhatsApp එකෙත් කරන්නේ communication තමයි. Right? So that is called communication. So how do we do communication? So we can identify again. Now we are analyzing. So there are human to human communication. So that is why you have the semester 2 communication skills subject, semester 3 communication skills subject. So there you learn how to do human to human communication. So then human to computer communication is there. So you have user interface, user experience design, UXD in semester 3. That is where you learn human to computer communication. And another human to computer communication you learn in this semester itself. Can someone tell me which subject we learn about human to computer communication in this semester? Which subject? So this is semester 3 subject, human to computer communication. There's another human to computer communication subject in semester 1. What is that? මේතින් semester 2 semester 3 subject එකක් මේතින් semester 3 subject එක semester 1 subject එකක් තියෙනවා තාම. Right? Yes, programming. So programming is human to computer. So we solve the problem and we have to present that steps, the solution steps to computer. So we communicate our solution to the computer so that computer can execute it. Right? So that is also human to computer communication. And of course, the computer to computer communication. So that is what we learn in networking, computer networks. You have a subject called computer network in semester 4. So you can see that we are the experts in communication. We are the experts because we not only concentrate on human to human, we look at human to human, human to computer, as an end user, as a programmer, then computer to computer. Okay. So that is human to human communication. So which is very important skill of any professional or any person, proper communication. So we use human languages, we use words, grammar, right? We can do it in verbally or by writing. So some of you talk, some of you just use chat. ඒගොල්ලෝ කැමති මේ communication එක. සමහරු කැමති කතා කරන්න. ලංකාවේ තමයි මේ කතා කරන්නේ නැත්තේ. ලංකාවේ කතා කරන්නේ නැත්තේ. කතා කරන්න බයයි. නේද? කතා කරන්න බයයි. කොහොමද? ඉස්කෝලේ බෝඩ් එක ගහලා දැන් නිශ්ශබ්දව සිටින කෙනා මට මතකයි මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ බෝඩ් එක ගහලා තියෙන නිශ්ශබ්දව සිටින. ඒක නිශ්ශබ්දව ඉන්න කෙනෙක් කොහොමද ඉගෙන ගන්නේ? මොකක්ද පඹයෝද? ඊට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලෝ ඒ කල්චර් එක ඉස්සරහට ආවයි. අපේ මිනිස්සු ශබ්ද කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා නේද? රටක් බංකොලොත් උනා අර හන්දි වලට ඇවිල්ලා හට්ටි මුට්ටි වලටත් ගගා හිටියේ. ඔන්න ශබ්ද කරනවා. හැබැයි බඩ දෙක පිටේ ඇලෙන්න ඕන අපේ උන් කතා කරවන්න. නැත්තම් පිරුණු කලේ දිය නොසලේ ගගා ඉන්නවා. Right. So then the human to computer, right? So using the user interfaces, we facilitate the normal end users to communicate with the computer like ATM machine or any user interface. And of course, as software developers, we communicate to our computer using programming languages. And we communicate, this is how you are supposed to do it. This is how you are supposed to behave in this kind of a input. And of course, computer to computer communication. Okay. So whether it's computer to computer or human to computer or human to human, the mechanism is pretty much the same. Or the idea is the same rather than a mechanism. Mechanism can be different. So we have at least two parties. The sender, receiver. Unless you are crazy, right? සමහර තමන්ටම කතා කරන්න එහෙම කතා කරන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ. Because you are you. So then the sender must have some sort of idea, data, information to share or exchange. So then we need some sort of a communication media or channel. So then we need to agree this is how we are going to do the communication. We call it protocol or language or whatever. At least we need a sign language if we can't talk. So now the sender can send the idea. Idea has to be converted into a message, and that message can be sent to the receiver. Right? And usually the receiver is supposed to give you some feedback or acknowledgement. Yes, I got it. Or I need more clarification. So whether it's human to human or computer to computer, or human to computer. So this is what happens. For example, in human to human, the protocol will be something like English, Sinhala, Tamil. In computer to computer, it will be IP, TCP, HTTP. If it is human to computer, as a technical level, it can be Java, Python, C++, or in other words, if it is a normal user, it can be command line interface, user interface like, so එක syntax එක button, radio button, checkbox. Right, so now we have covered what is data, what is information, right? What is communication, what is entity. Now you must have superb confidence about these four words. What is data? What is entity? What is information? What is communication? ඕක නේද? බේසිස් එක නේද? ඔය හතරම දැන් ඉවරලා ඔතනින් එහාට ගිහලා වැඩක් නැහැ. So data is property or attributes of any entity. Data is conceptual. You can't touch it. Always data is conceptual. And entity is anything that we are interested. It's a more strong concept than data. It can be living physical like customer, employee, student, non-living physical like vehicle, goods. Or it can be conceptual like order, payment, cost. So then information is processed data. Information is processed data. For the result of data processing. So data is good, information is, if you done it proper processing, it's better. And communication is exchanging ideas, data, or information between two parties. So there you need a protocol, media. So your idea must be converted to message. In computer networking, we call it data packets, right? HTTP packet, TCP packet. In our normal communication, we call it words, sentences. මේ ඔක්කොම එකට බලන්න ඕන. ඔක්කොම එකට බලනකොට ඔක්කොම නිකන් එලකිරි වගේ තේරෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. confidence එක වැඩි වෙනවා. හරි confidence එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ගේම ගහන්නේ confidence එකෙන්. හරි ඔයාගේ degree පිටේල්ලන් යන්නේ නැහැ. degree පිටේල්ලන් යන්නේ confidence නැති හාල් පාරුව. ඒ සමහරව යන යනකන Apple phone එක පේන්න අරන් යන්නේ. personality එකක් නැහැ පාංකඩ personality ගන්න හදනවා මේකෙන්. වාහනෙන් ගන්න හදනවා. Benz එකෙන්. මේ personality ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයා වෙන්න. ඔයා වෙන්න. කතා බහ කරනකොට තැනකට ගියාම ඉන්ටර්විව් එකකට ගියාම ඔයාගේ personality එක කට්ටිය නිකම්ම දකි. නිකම්ම කට්ටිය වට leadership එක දෙයි. මෙයා expert, මෙයා මේක හොඳට දන්නවා. මෙයාගේ decisions හරි කියලා. Okay. Right. So now we move on to our second part. System. Remember our subject is information system. Right. Our subject is information system. So we'll take the lunch break at around 11:30, okay? Or 11:30 or 11:45. So first few days, let's work a little bit harder. Then we can relax. ඒක තමයි අපේ system එක ක්‍රමය. මුලින් මහන්සි වෙනවා පස්සේ relax කරන්න පුළුවන්. relax කරනවා කියන්නේ නිකන් මොකාද වගේ ඉන්නවා කියන එක නෙමෙයි යා. හරි. හැබැයි වා ස්මාර්ට් එතකොට. ස්මාර්ට් එක කෙනා එච්චර දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැන් ලංකාවේ මිනිස්සු කොච්චර මහන්සි වෙනවද? සෙනසුරාදා දිගට ගහන ලංකාවේ මිනිස්සු රට ගිහලා කියන්නේ අහන්නේ අනේ අපි ජොබ් 3ක් කරනවා කියන්නේ. මේ උපාධිත් අරගෙන අරව කළා මේව කළා ගිහිල්ලා ඇයි ඒ? එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ නේද? ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ජොබ් 3ක් කරන්නේ නෑනේ ගිහිල්ලා. software developer කෙනෙක් ජොබ් 3ක් කරන්නේ නෑනේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ එක ජොබ් එකයි. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ මුලින් මහන්සි වෙලා ඒවා ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒ එහෙම වෙලා ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙලාව එයා එක ජොබ් එකක් කරගෙන රිලැක්ස් එකේ ඉන්නවා දැන්. ඒක වැඩ නොකර ඉන්නවා නෙමෙයි. වැඩ නොකර ඉන්න ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ. දැන් අපේ අනිත් කට්ටිය දැන් වැඩ නොකර ඉන්න ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. right? වැඩ නොකර ඉන්න හොරකම් කරන්න. නේද? අර එකෙක් මහ බැංකුවටම ගිහින් මහ බැංකුවේ අධිපති වෙලාම කැඩුවන්නේ නේද? ඒකට ඕන නැදින මහ බැංකුවම කඩන්න. ගියක් බිඳලා මදි උට. උට ගියක් බිඳලා මදි. පොඩි පගාවක් ගහලා මදි. ජරාවක් කාලා මදි. උට ඕන මහ බැංකුවම හොරකම් කරන්න. එහෙම ඇත් ඉන්නවා ඉතින්. හරි. So that is why you have to aware of ethics and other things. Right. So therefore, so let's be serious. Let's take a little bit more effort upfront. Right. So now we move on to system. So why are we interested in systems? Why are we interested in systems? Because your subject is information system. So your computer has operating system. We will be looking at database management system. Right. So your afternoon subject is computer system. Yeah, both system can you can do one mehr karan. Meeting system nyokko. Right. Tena system ගැන දැනගෙන ඉන්න බෑ. System ගැන දැනගෙන නැතුව කොහොමද information system can computer system can database management system can operating system කරන්නේ. So therefore you must have අර අපි කියන්නේ එල්ල කිරි වගේ උත්තරයක් තියෙනවනේ this is a system. අයි ලෝකේ ඕන තැනක ගිහිල්ලා බය නැතුව පපුව ඉස්සරහට දාලා කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන කවුරුහරි system එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කිව්වොත් මෙන්න system එක කියන්නේ මේකටයි. That is how you go and do one job. ඒක හරියට කරගත්තොත් ඒක. So what is mean by a system? So then information IT O level IT A level IT කරපුවා කියනවා. නැත්තම් කඹයක් අරගෙන එල්ලෙන්න බාල්කේ. මොන කරුමක්කාර ජීවිතයක්ද මේක කියලා. OS කරා database systems කරා computer systems කරා information system කරා system කිව්ව ගමන් මට hang වෙනවා මට කකුල් පණ නැති වෙනවා. එහෙනම් මම ඉගෙන ගත්ත මගුලක් තියෙනවද කියලා කල්පනා කරන්න වෙනවා. හරි අනිත් අය ජොලි ඉන්න. ඒක තමයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ නැති වුණාම ජොලි ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියන්නේ. ඉගෙන ගත්තට පස්සේ වගකීම් වැඩි. What is a system? What is a system? What is mean by system? Set of integrated devices that input, output, process and store data and information. So that is an information system. What I am asking is a system. මම අහන්නේ information system එකක් ගැන නෙමෙයි. මම අහන්නේ system එකක් ගැන. පහුගිය කාලේ කට්ටියක් කිව්වනේ system change කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒත් ඒගොල්ලෝ කිව්වද මේ data information ගැන? Yeah. So system is right. Yeah. System is set of components. Set of components. So we have set of components. So these components communicate and collaborate. Our interview එකදී කවුරු system එකක් කිව්වොත් මේ අඳාද explain කරනවා. අනිවාර්යව ඇත්තට තමයි. හරි. අනිත් අයට කියන්න බලා ඕගොල්ලෝ ගෙදර යන්න මාට මම තමයි job එක ගන්න job එකට ගන්නේ මම තමයි ලෝකේ හොඳම උත්තර ටික තියෙන්නේ මං ගාව. හරි. Right. So we have set of components. So these components communicate and collaborate. Why? Because these components have a common objective. Common objective. To achieve that common objective, these components communicate and collaborate. So then we call it a system. Right? It's a system. So you must be having the best answer in the world and you must be very sure about that. I have the best answer. So then when you go for the interview, you are the one who get the job, not the others. So it's your system that everyone use, not others. Okay. So how do you make sure that you have the best? You have the best. ඒක පටන් ගන්න උත්තරයක් දෙන තැන ඉඳලා. ඊට පස්සේ ඔක ගෙනියන්න. ඔයා හදන දෙයට. When you make a cup of tea, your cup of tea must be the best in the world. කිරිහොද්දක් ඇදුවත් ඔයාගේ කිරිහොද්ද තමයි ලෝකේ හොඳම කිරිහොද්ද වෙන්න ඕන. මන්දර අපි නම් එහෙමයි. ඒකෙන් කියන්නේ අපි හැම එකම කරනවා කියලා. කරන දේ එච්චරයි. අනිත් දේවල් වෙන කෙනෙක්ට කියලා කරව ගන්නවා. හොඳම දේ විදියට කරගන්න පුළුවන් එක නන්දි. දැන් මට කිරිහොද්දක් හදාගන්න බැරි හන්ද මම කවදාවත් කිරිහොද්ද හදන්න try කරන්නෙත් නැහැ. මොකද මම දන්නවා මං හදන කිරිහොද්ද ඒක හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට වැඩිය හොඳට කිරිහොද්ද හදන්න පුළුවන් කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා ලෝකේ. හැබැයි But when I go for a job interview for software engineer, I want to make sure that my answer is the best. When I build the information system, I want to make sure that if not the best, it must be within top 3. It must be within top 3. ඒකෙන් දැන් අර ගිහිල්ලා මම අර වෙබ්සයිට් එකට බැන්නේ නෑ අපි වෙබ්සයිට් එක හදුවොත් weather.com level එකට තියෙනවා අඩුම ගානේ accuweather.com එකේ level එකට තියෙනවා top 3 වල ඉන්නවා right so that is what system is set of components that communicate and collaborate to achieve a common objective okay so that is called system that is called a system so systems are not only information systems operating systems and database management system if you take a human or any animal it's a system if you take a vehicle a car it's a system so car has set of components right engine gearbox power transmission electric subsystem components subsystems and it has objective is transport go from one place to the other that is the objective of the vehicle then we are the humans සමහරු දන්නේ මිනිස්සෙගේ objective මොනවාද කියලා system එකක් තමයි ඔයාගේ objective මොනවාද මම දන්නේ ඔයාගේ objective මොනවාද කියලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ පුළුවන් ලියන්න බන් කොලයක් කරා මට එවන්න එපා. ඔයාගේ ජීවිතයේ objectives ඔයා system එකක්නේ. ඔයාගේ objectives පහක් ලියන්න. මට නම් පුළුවන් ඔයාලගේ මගේ objectives පහක් ලියන්න. top priority පහ මේකයි කියලා. So then there are subsystems. For example, inside us, we have so many subsystems. Can you tell me 5 subsystems inside our body? Just tell me 3 subsystems. Inside our body, 3 subsystems inside any animal or most of the animal. ටගල කියනවා subsystem 3ක් කියන්න ඕන මට. අපේ body එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන. Those are subsystems. Neuron is it a system? Neuron කියන්නේ system එකක් නෙමෙයි. Yeah, brain maybe. Yeah, neuron is just tiny part of that system. Right? Brain is a system. Right? Respiratory system කිය ශ්වසන පද්ධතිය. Digestive system. ඔය තියෙන system. නේද? ස්නායු පද්ධතිය නේද? Can someone tell me what is the objective of respirate or now we have the blood circulation system. රුධිර සංසරණ පද්ධතිය. Can someone tell me what are the objectives of or what is the objective of blood circulation system? It's a system. රුධිර සංසරණ පද්ධතිය. What are the objectives? ඕන system එකක objectives දැනගන්නවා. පුළුවන්. ඒක මේ මහා ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. ඕන මනුස්සයෙක්ට සාමාන්‍ය බුද්ධියක් තියෙන කෙනෙක්ට කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. What are the purposes of blood circulation system? Circulate blood all over the body? Is that? ඒ කියන්නේ විඤ්ඤාණ වෙන වැඩ නැද්ද? ඔක එහෙම ගිනි බෝල කරකවනවා කරකෝ යන්නේ. ඒක ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එකක් නෙමෙයි. ඒ යා කරන වැඩේ. ඒක හරියට කායෙන් හරි ඔයාගේ ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එක වන්න මම උදේට ඉස්කෝලේ යනවා. හවසට ක්ලාස් යනවා. ඔයාගේ ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එක මොකද්ද? උදේට ඉස්කෝලේ යනවා හවසට ක්ලාස් යනවා. පොඩි එකෙන් ඇහුවොත් කියයි නේද? ඒක ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එකක් නෙමෙයි නේ. ඒක ඔයාට අර අම්මලා තාත්තලා කිව්වන්ද කරනවා. So what is the objective? What are the objectives of blood circulation system? මේ නිකන් ඔයාට කම්මැලි හන්ද blood circulate කරන්නේ නැහැ. Yeah, deliver oxygen to the organs or cells. So that is your main objective, right? Because your cells need oxygen. ඒකනේ නේද අතනින් ගිහලා පෙනහැල්ලට කනෙක්ට් කරලා පෙනහැල්ලෙන් ඔක්සිජන් කාබන් ඩයොක්සයිඩ් ටික එළියට දීලා ඔක්සිජන් ටික අරන් එන්නේ. So that is the main objective. Another objective is transport other chemicals like මොනවාද ඒවට කියන්නේ අපි hormones. hormone වලින් blood circulation system එක කරා නේද? සමහර තැන එක තැනක හෝමෝනිය හැදෙන්නේ හෝමෝනිය ඕන වෙන්නේ තව තැනකට. So every system has objective or set of objectives, and this entire system, your lungs, heart, so they collaborate. When it comes to digestive system, your stomach, liver, right, intestines, small intestines, and everything is called collaborating. ඔයා මේ ටික දිරවන්න, ඔයා මේ ටික ගන්න, මම තෙල් ටික මම දිරවන්න, glucose ටික මම බලා ගන්න. So they have common objectives, absorbing the nutritions. So that is a common objective of that subsystem. Right. So now you must have a very good understanding about what is system. System is set of components having common objectives. දැන් සමහර උදේට ජොබ් එකට යනකොටවත් එහෙම අදහසක් නැති කාලා කන්නේ උදේට වැඩට යන උන් ඉන්නවා. හරි? වැඩට යන්නේ මොකටද? වැඩට යන්න ඕන අන්ද. මට කීයක් හරි පඩියක් දෙන්න අන්ද. නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මේ සිස්ටම් මම ඉන්න සිස්ටම් එක මොකද්ද? ඒ සිස්ටම් එකෙන් මොනවද වෙන්න ඕන? එහෙම නැහැ. නේද? එහෙම කළානේ මේ රටවල් බංකොලොත් උනේ. රටවල් බංකොලොත් වෙනකම වැඩට යන්නේ උන් දන්නේ නැහැ මොකටද වැඩට ගියේ කියලා. ඇහුවොත් එහෙම නේද? රටවල් දියුණු කරන්න කියලානේ උදේට වැඩට යන්නේ බහුතරයක්. ඉතින් දියුණු කරපු රටක් නැහැනේ. රට බංකොලොත්. අපිත් වැඩට ගියා. අපි වැඩ කරපු ආයතන තාම ලංකාවේ හොඳට දුවනවා. ලංකාවේ හොඳට දුවනවා. ඒත් අපිට හරි සතුටුයි. සිස්ටම් එක දුවනවා හොඳට. අපි වැඩ කරපු ආයතන වල තමයි සිස්ටම් හැදුවේ. ඒ සිස්ටම් තාම හොඳට දුවනවා. අලුත් සිස්ටම් හදනවා. ආයතන බංකොලොත් නෑ ආයතන ඕන තරම් ඩොලර් ගේනවා. So that is ඉස්සෙල්ලා පටන් ගන්න මොකද්ද මේ සිස්ටම් එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව්ස් මොනවද? නැත්නම් අන්තිමට තමන්ගේ ජීවිතයේ කියන සිස්ටම් එකේ ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව්ස් නෑ සමහරවිට. ජීවිතයේ කියන සිස්ටම් එකකට ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව්ස් නැතුනොත් මල මගුලක් තමයි වෙන්නේ නේ. Right. So we can subdivide systems in different ways. Okay. So some of the systems are living systems like a human, or some of the systems are non-living systems like a vehicle, washing machine, like computer. So then we can subdivide as natural versus man-made. So some systems are made by the nature, like an animal, human, or man-made system, like a computer, vehicle, man-made system. A river, sort of a system. But swimming pool or canal, man-made system. Then some systems are tangible, physical systems. But some systems are intangible, and we are really interested in conceptual systems, operating systems, information systems, database management systems. Those are all conceptual systems. So as IT professionals, we are more interested about conceptual systems. Only physical system that we are interested in is computer system, because computer system has hardware. Right? Computer system has hardware, but all the other systems that we are interested are mainly conceptual systems, database management system, and of course we are mainly interested in information systems. It's software, but we need that computer system support. And also there are some other classifications like non-adaptive versus adaptive, open versus closed, and so on. Okay. So this is another very important classification, non-adaptive versus adaptive, because remember, we want to build the best system in the world. Best system, right? So best systems are adaptive systems. So very good example is smartphone. So why do we call it smartphone? ගොඩක් අය දන්නේ නැහැ smartphone එකටයි smart කියන්නේ කියලා. කාටද මේ smart අය කියන්නේ? එයා හරි smart කියන්නේ. ඒකේ විරුද්ධ වචනේ තමයි ගොන්. එයා හරි ගොන්, එයා හරි smart. හරි smart අය නේද? ගොන් කියන්නේ ගොනානේ නේද? ගොනා මෙලෝ වෙන ගොනා ඔහෙ ඉන්නව නේද? වාහනයක් ආවත් ඔහෙ ඉන්නවා. හරි. මැසේජ් කරුවත් ඔහෙ ඔළුව වනවන ඉන්නවා. So smart means we adapt, we respond to changes, we adapt to changes. So adaptive systems adapt to the situations, adapt to the environment. Right? But non-adaptive systems just they stay like that. කන්දක් වගේ. කළු ගලක් වගේ. But adaptive systems adapt. Okay. So as humans, we are adaptive, right? Of course, some people are more adaptive, some people are less adaptive. Then now you guys are fairly adaptive. That is why you are joining this session through Zoom, because you know that the technology has improved. If we want, we can virtually have a class. But some others think that in 2050 also we have to physically go to class. Physically class එකකට මේ යන්න ඕනි ඉගෙන ගන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉගෙන ගන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒ ඇඩැප්ටිව් නැති කට්ටිය හිතන විදිය. ඒගොල්ලෝ 2050 හිතන්නේ එහෙම තමයි. So you guys are adaptive. So that you guys adapt to the situations and you go with the trend. So that is adaptive as a human. So one human is non-adaptive, another human is adaptive. Those who are adaptive go for move fast. Move fast. Okay, so that is the difference between now when we are developing information systems also we try to make it adaptive as much as possible. So very good example is a smartphone, right? So when we are developing a website also, website is a information system, right? So this is say our website. Now this is how it looks in desktop or laptop, right? So you can see there are two columns. Let's go to something like BIT. But how does it look when it comes to, so let's say mobile viewer of websites. Say right. So I think the survey is busy. Let's take a different site. I think this needed. Yeah, that's a plugin. The one I use, no, it's not working, right? Sometimes the server is busy. Let's see whether we can go for another thing. And it's also not working. Yeah, for that also we need to have the extension. Like I will show it later, okay? Maybe next day. So basically what we want to do is we want to make our information systems adapt For example, now this one is how it looks in smartphone, but sorry, how it looks in desktop. But this is how it's supposed to be looked at in smartphone. So you can see here, this menu has been changed. It has been adapted, right? But here it's a menu like this, but now it's a menu like this. Okay. Now earlier it was one row, right? Two columns, but now it is one column. But here it is two columns. So that has to happen. So when you are doing web development, you will learn how to develop adaptive websites, right? How to develop adaptive websites using Bootstrap and other frameworks. So therefore, what we need is more and more adaptive systems. Okay. මම දන්නේ අපේ කාලගුණ විද්‍යා දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ සයිට් එක ඇඩැප්ටිව්ද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ බයිට් එකට ගන්න යද නේද? අද බයිට් එක යන්න. ආයාගේ මේ හරිය නම් ඇඩැප්ටිව්. හරි. මම හිතුවේ ඒකත් නැතුව ඇති කියලා. ඒක ඇඩැප්ටිව් වෙන්න හදලා තියෙනවා. So you can see it's getting adapt to the width. It's getting adapt to the width. So that is anyway, that is good, right? That is good, right? So the another classification is open system versus closed systems. So closed system means if you take the system boundary, our input and output is also taken within the input system boundary. But in practically, the useful systems are open systems. Okay. So very good example is if you take a school. Now school is open system, right? So people from outside can come and then you can go out. But if you take a prison, it is also open system, but not as open as school. උදේට ඇවිල්ලා හවසට ගෙදර යන්න බෑනේ නේද? ස්ටුඩන්ට්ලට පුළුවන් උදේට ඇවිල්ලා එකමාරට ගෙදර යන්න බෑ. හිරකාරයෙක්ට ඔකට ආවම සමහරට ජීවිත කාලෙම ඉන්නවා, සමහරට මාස 6ක් ඉන්න වෙනවා. So it's not 100% closed, but it's fairly closed system. Okay. So we have a shuttle, space shuttle or space station, which is fairly closed system. Right? Maybe once a year or once 6 months, the people so another set of people goes and the existing people comes and they have to survive there for next 6 months. Again, not 100% closed, but fairly closed. So therefore, we have fairly open system, fairly closed systems. But the new trend is make systems more and more open. Right? So you have subject called free and open source application software, right? FOSS. So we'll look at more and more about those things. But the new trend is make systems more and more open, right? Not more and more closed. පුළුවන් තරම් අපි මේවා විවෘත කරන්න ඕන. right? පුළුවන් තරම් අපි මේවා විවෘත කරන්න ඕන. පුළුවන් උපරිමයට. right? Right. So we already discussed why are we interested in systems as IT professionals. Yes, we are interested in information systems, computer systems, operating systems, database management systems, and so on. Okay. Right. So now what is the information system? Now we have discussed what is data, what is information, what is entity, and also we discussed what is a system and different categories of systems, different features of systems. Now we are in a position to understand what is an information system, and that is our subject, right? So information system is a system where we convert data into information or data into the results that we are interested. And of course, that information system may consisting of so many other components, right? So many other components. And these information systems can be built using the use of database management systems, programming languages. We have to use the operating systems to install it. And it runs in a computer system, right? So what is the information system? Information system is a system That is set of components that communicate and collaborate to achieve a common objective. So the objective is process these data into expected results or the information. Okay. Right. So information system can be payroll system, order processing system, inventory management system, student management system, patient management system, right? Or something related to it. Google Map or something, navigation support system, or entertainment support system like a computer game. So those are also information systems. Okay. Right. So when it comes to information systems, early days we had manual information systems. So manual information system means we don't use computers. We gather data, process manually, files, paper, pen, humans process it. We transport the physical files and applications and so on. But right now we have more and more computer-based information systems. So we are transferring manual information systems to computer-based information systems as much as possible. In the future, possibly there will be very little manual information systems available. All the other systems will be CBISs. So right now, if you take a bank or something, it's almost now done. And we try to get rid of the rest of the manual parts. Then මට බැංකුවට යන්න නැතුව මට account එක open කරන්න පුළුවන් කිසිම form එකක් පුරවන්න නැතුව. So I get the transactions. I can use that to do my payments. Right? So no physical things. No physical things. Just my credit card, debit card. Right? Just that's it. Now you can start studying without any physical things, right? So your PDF files are there, online resources are there. So only thing is still your exam is on physical paper is given. But if you take FIT, FIT exam is also online. Papers paper So the trend is go more and more virtual or CBISs and get rid of manual systems. Okay. So as I mentioned, manual information systems, we store data or information in physical media, processed by humans, transmit by humans or physical transport. So many disadvantages. Lot of space, lot of slow processing, possibility of errors, and more than that, possibility of corruption. මනුස්සයෙක්ගේ අතර ගිය ගමන් corruption වෙනවා සමහරවිට. විශේෂයෙන්ම හොරු ඉන්න තැනක් වුණොත් ඒ. ඒ කියන්නේ අර ඇඟිලි සලකුණු යන්ත්‍රයේ එනකොට උණ විකාරයෙන් කෑ ගහන්නේ. තක්කඩි ඉන්න තැන් වලට. ඇඟිලි සලකුණු යන්ත්‍රය එනවට කැමති නැහැ. Because it's a computer based information system. ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ නෑ මේක අස්සම් කරමු. එතකොට තමයි ඔක්කොම නේද? කුජීත රෙඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් මේක ඇතුලේ. So they fear of CBISs. But genuine people, they love CBISs. They hate manual information systems. Okay. So in CBIS, we store electronically, process electronically, transmit electronically using networks, internet, and you need less space, very fast speed, less errors, no corruptions. Machine not bribe then the software developer. Right. So what are the components of CBIS? So we have the hardware, software, network, database, people, policies, and procedures. Of course, database is a special type of software, but because it's very important, we just take it as a separate component. Okay. So network is also sort of a combination of hardware and software because it's a very important role. We just take it as a separate. But still, we need people, at least to manage the information system. Sometimes data enter. If there's an issue, troubleshoot, we still need people. And still, when we have people, we need policies and procedures because these people can misuse it. Still, they can misuse it. So therefore, what are the 6 components of CBIS? hardware, software, network, database, people, policies, and procedures. Okay. So how do you make sure that our information systems are effective or does the work? So there are two things we have to make sure. Make sure that it is correct data you are input, right? So otherwise we say garbage in, garbage out, GIGO. It doesn't matter how well your information system is, as long as it is, you input garbage, what you get is garbage. The second thing is make sure your processing is correct. The processing is correct, your input correct data, so then your information system is in good shape. Okay. So we look at the steps in data management, right? Data creation, data managing, data obsolete, data is removed, and let's little bit add to it. Let's elaborate that. So when data is created, we need to gather it. And remember, garbage in is garbage out. It doesn't matter how well your information system is developed, tested. If you input wrong data, you get wrong results. So therefore, we try to minimize. We can't eliminate it. We try to minimize garbage data, wrong data. So that is why we need to do as much as possible data validation at the input. And then, of course, we have to store, or we can process and store, or store and process. It doesn't matter. Sometimes store, process, or process, store, or we do both. Right? And then we have to present the output. That is your information. So now we just little bit elaborated because we have different subjects for different places. Okay. So data storage, that is your database subject. Data processing, that is your programming subject. So data gathering and validation part will be covered in your user interface design. How to do this very effectively. Now you can see we are just connecting our subjects to this. This is what we are basically handling in an information system. Nothing else. Right. So when it comes to gathering data, our main objectives are make it efficient, make it user friendly. Let it happen as fast as possible, and let it very comfortable for the operators, users. Okay. So there are three approaches. We can go for manual data entry, semi-automated, automated, or fully automated. Okay. So that is self-explanatory, right? So you can just understand it. Now, when it comes to validations, so there are different type of validations we can use. So presence check. So we make sure that you enter that data. We call it mandatory fields. We can check for the data types. Is it a valid number? Is it a valid date? Range checks. Is it in a valid range? Format checks. Is it in a valid format? Say email address, there's a format, right? a.bb_cc.dd. If ampersand is not there, it's not a valid email. Right. So that is the type of validations we can do. Of course, we will be move on to more details when we are doing user experience designing. This is just an overview. Okay. And when it comes to storage also, there are two options. Either we can store in our premises, our servers, or we can save it in the internet or cloud, some other servers. For example, all our documents are saved in Google Drive. Your recordings will be saved in YouTube, not our servers. So the new trend is save your data and other documents and as much as possible remote or cloud storage. Even our website is in a cloud. But some organizations like bank, they are very sensitive. So they don't want to store it in cloud. They want to keep it in their online, their premises. The government sometimes, okay. Right. So finally, let's look at the three types of data, right? Before finishing our topic one. So we can categorize data into 3 types: structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. So structured data is the data with well-defined structure, like student information, payment information, order information, reservation information. So it has a well-defined structure, right? Product ID, product name, category. This is an inventory entry, right? Payment date, payment amount, payment type, right? Student ID, student name, contact number, email address. So they are structured data. So we can use structured databases, structured query language like SQL to work with structured data. So the second type of data that we are interested is, let's take unstructured data. So unstructured data means there's very little structure. Maybe an image, an audio, video, some text, very little structure, but especially multimedia. So those are called unstructured data. So sometimes we call them big data. Big data. So CCTV camera footages, right? So people keep on uploading TikTok, YouTube. So they are all big data or unstructured data, and it's a big business. So those information systems are super important. And in between, we have semi-structured data. That means it's not as structured as structured data, but not as unstructured as something like an image or audio or video. It has some sort of a structure. So we will look at how to handle semi-structured and unstructured data in semester 3 under data management systems. Okay. But in semester 2 under database management system, you will be learning only how to handle structured data. So don't worry, we will gradually look at how to handle structured data, how to handle semi-structured data, and little bit of how to handle unstructured data. Okay. So these unstructured data or the big data, so these are some characteristic of unstructured data. So they comes in big volumes. For example, at the end of the session, I will be uploading this recording. It may be somewhere close to 800 megabytes, close to 1 GB that I will be uploading to the YouTube, but YouTube can handle it. YouTube can handle it. So we have uploaded more than 1000 gigabyte of data to the YouTube. So it comes in big volume, CCTV camera, right? Videos, audios. It comes in different variety. It can be audio, it can be video, it can be image, it can be animation. It comes in high velocity, quick and fast, quick and fast. So this Zoom session is getting recorded. It's a big data application. Zoom is a big data application. YouTube is a big data application. Facebook, TikTok, big data application, and they are big businesses. They comes in quick and fast. Every second, every minute, large amount of data is input to the system, and they can handle that high volumes, quick and fast. And they comes in different veracity, different quality. So your smartphone's cam is not my cam. So maybe your cam has high resolution, my cam has medium resolution. So your sound card and my sound card, different quality. So they have to work with different quality data also. High volumes, different types, high velocity, and different qualities. So those are some features of big data management application. They have to tackle these challenges. Okay. And big data has a lot of potential. Of course, not the potential. So that is how the companies like YouTube, right, Google, Facebook, they are the number 1 to millionaires. So that is why Elon Musk is crazy trying to get the control of Twitter, because they know if you want to be in the top 1, 2, 3, so you must be the big data guys. Look at the top 10 millionaires, billionaires. So most of these guys are handling big data. Right? big data, Facebook, Google, right, and so on. And when it comes to processing also, there are two ways we can process. The batch processing, that means we periodically process, maybe monthly, daily, once a day. Like for example, salary processing, once a month. Exam processing, once a year. Say A level, so until the next A level. So the system is not doing any processing. Your electricity bill, once a month. But some systems, they are online real time. For example, when you do a money transfer, it's instantly, within few minutes or few seconds, money is transferred to the other account. When you do online booking, order something, so instantly it is getting processed. So those are called online real-time processing. For some situation, batch processing is good enough because we don't need online processing, but some other cases, what we need is online real-time processing. So when you are developing a system, when you are designing a system, you have to think about these things. Right? Are we going to store locally or store in the cloud? Are we going to do batch processing? Are we going to do online real-time processing? How much of the input we are going to automate? Is it semi-automate, fully automate? Right? What kind of validations are we going to do? What kind of user interface are we going to provide? So we have to think about all those things. So that is why we are learning these different subjects, okay? And finally, so these are not actually new trends, but fairly new trends, okay? AI, robotics, cloud computing, mobile computing, smart technologies, big data, we discussed that, right? Internet of Things, the things are communicating with each other now, smart devices. Virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain technology like the cryptocurrencies. Quantum computing is another area. A lot of big companies like Google, IBM, Microsoft is doing their researching. Right. Anyway, we'll look at some of these things in your information system subject later on. Right, that's it about information systems. Okay. Right, so we'll take the lunch break. So remember, I told you we are going to do very fast, lot of things and work hard because we can relax when exams are nearing. So this is not like a private bus. So දැකලා තියෙනවද private bus යන විදිය? හරි මම දැකලා තියෙනවා මහරගමින් බස් එකක් පටන් ගන්නවා 138 කොටුව. මහරගම ඉඳලා නුගේගොඩට යනකම් කොට යන්නේ. හරි පැය භාගයක් විතර ගන්නවා යන්න. මහර නුගේගොඩ ඉඳලා තුම්මුල්ල ඉඳලා ඔන්න අරිනවා. හරි පිඹගෙන යනවා. සමහර ටියුෂන් ක්ලාස් උත් එහෙම A level ටියුෂන් ක්ලාස් එහෙම. මුලින් කොටනවා. ඇයි ඒ කට්ටිය එකතු කරනවා. අපි එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. අපි මුලින් වේගෙන් යනවා අන්තිමට රිලැක්ස් එකේ යනවා. හරි කලින් බස් එකේට එන අයට තමයි අපි සලකන්නේ අන්තිමට එල්ලෙන අය ෆුට්බෝඩ් එකේ එල්ලුණත් එකයි අපිට වැටුණත් එකයි. අන්තිම මොහොතේ එකතු වෙන කට්ටිය. So therefore we don't waste your time because this is waste. ඔයා දන්නවනේ මේක වැරදි වැඩක් නේද? උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ දෙහිවල ඉඳලා මහරගමට යන්න යනවා බස් එකට 119 බස් එකට යනවා පැයක්. හරි කිලෝමීටර් 5කට වැඩිය නැහැ. උපරිම කිලෝමීටර් 6යි. මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ මීට අවුරුදු 20කට විතර කාලෙක. අදත් ඒ බස් එකට යනවා පැයක් යනවා. ඇයි ඒ? ඒතකොට මොකද්ද මේ රටේ තියෙන දියුණුව? ඒතකොට එදත් පැයක් යනවා අදත් පැයක් යනවා. පැයෙන් විනාඩි 10න් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපි 10න් කරනවා. විනාඩි 10න් කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩි පැයක් ගන්න මොනවා? අංගිය අමාරුවකටද? So that is why we are doing it fast. We do it fast because we don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Okay. Right. So after the break, lunch break, we'll move on to the computer system and then communication. Okay. Right. So we'll be starting at 1:30. හරි සමහර දවස්වල පැයක බ්‍රේක් එකක් ගන්න සමහර දවස්වල පැයකමාරක බ්‍රේක් එකක් ගන්න. හරි අද පළවෙනි දවසෙන්ද වැඩි කරන්නේ. Right. So we'll be starting at 1:30. So same session. So you can connect to the same using the same Zoom link. Okay. Right. So you can disconnect and again connect to the same session. Okay. Right. 1:30 we'll be starting. 1.5 hour break.